I don't know why, but you were watching the Madness Comic Network. Are you mental?
Who am I, you ask? I was created in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by the waste of a dying world. I was bestowed with an insurmountable task: bring peace after decades of death, persecution, and chaos. I am a grandchild of war, destined to help two camps which hate has fueled for far too long. Surprisingly, I am not alone. Have an odd bunch to make the road a little more bearable. Come with me, to bring hope where there was despair, respect where there was resentment, creativity where there was destruction. I am Pinocchio, and this is my story.
It's Flip City Magazine, The Parodies, Special Edition, with savage send-ups of The Walking Dead, Star Trek Picard, Stranger Things, The Mandalorian, Guardians of the Galaxy, and more from the first 4 years of Flip City. Get Flip City The Parodies free when you subscribe in print at flipcitymag.com. The world's best satire magazine, and never, ever woke.
In the heart of a major city, in a place raised to honor Earth's past protectors, the world will again learn, sometimes, superpowered intrigue doesn't stop at the grave. Galaxy Memorial Park, Volume 1, beginning crowdfunding Memorial Day 2025.
Hey, everybody, Dirk Manning here, the writer and creator of numerous comic books and graphic novels, including Nightmare World, Tales of Mystery, Brave But Not Dead, all kinds of stuff. And I am super excited for you because you are getting to watch right now, right this moment, out of all the things we're going to be doing, you're getting to enjoy and revel in the Madness Comic Network. And that is awesome. Thank you for being here.
Yeah. You know why we're
Good morning, y'all.
What's up? What's up? What's up? It is
Here we are again, and
the comic.
this week I'm imbibing this delicious tea that was brought back for me. I have a friend of mine who owns a very large company. I'll just say that, and super cool guy. You would never think that he, moves in the circles that he moves in with that sort of thing. You'd never think that he has what he has because he's so down to earth. And this is actually a leftover from last Christmas, brought back for me from a trip he went on, a business trip to Beijing, China. Brought back this really, really nice Chinese black tea. So I've got, and I'm sure that some knucklehead out there who loves their tea and shit like that will want to slap me because I've got it mixed with a salted caramel sugar-free sweetener, and man, it is delicious. So, and the whole point of that is I'm feeling a little under the weather. Had a sniffle for a few days, and had a sore throat for about 12 hours. And it went away last night. So all that seems to be left is the sniffle. I think it knew the madness was coming and was like, shit, I got to get out of here before Pop shows up. So the bug took off.
That's funny. That's funny. Like the bugs listen to me. Yeah.
So, oh Lord, I don't know if we'll have Mr. Chuckles here today, but because I know he's got a lot of stuff going on, super busy. But in honor of Mr. Charles, this is going to make him wish that he were here. Let me adjust my camera.
Levi in the chat saying, "Hey,
Mr. Levi, how you doing?" Well, so there is a project that I'm working with Charles on.
What's up, Glenn?
That we're planning to kickstart sometime next year. Hopefully, not too damn late into the year. And it's a little out of sorts for me because I don't normally do humor, but it's a.
Oh, look who's here. Look.
Oh, there's Chuckles. Hey, Mr. Chuckles.
How are you gentlemen doing today?
We're good. Your audio is bad as always. It's shiny.
I'll switch to my desktop.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just get on your damn computer, man.
I thought he fixed this by going to the car when he was, and giving.
Yeah, but I'm in my house. Julianne was talking to me, and she's all hyper and excited about Les turning her into a tarot card, part of the Eldritch Arcana.
The Eldritch Horrors, or excuse me, I'm getting my projects mixed up. That's a different thing. It's actually a source book that I'm doing for some DC stuff. She'll be one of the Eldritch Angels.
Which is so cool.
So anyway, as I was saying, I guess since Charles is here, maybe I don't have to do this, but he's going to be excited. So I just was feeling it, felt like I would pull up and do a quick sketch today, maybe a finished piece. We'll see how far it goes and how fast it goes, of the leader of this group of characters that we're going to be doing a book on together next year. I'm co-writing it with Charles, and I'm looking forward to this thing just because it's a breath of fresh air for me. I typically do heavy, pretty serious books and pretty serious like horror and sci-fi. And this is an homage to Heavy Metal Magazine from back in the day. A book called, we nicknamed it 5B. It's the Big Boobed Battle Bard Babes.
Yep, Big Boobed Battle Bard Babes.
I mean, it is intentionally ridiculous. So, oh my God, there's two Charleses. The world can only handle one.
Oh no!
So anyway,
Booting that
without
other one out of here.
ado, I'm going to start doodling on here, and you guys can talk. So I've got a just
Hey, I
real
look
quick.
like Darkling and Heimlich without doing her illusion.
I've got the concept art for Darkling on here.
Right. And there's a black and white when she casts illusions, how she looks on stage, which I thought was so cool. Can you just for fun show the black and white?
I don't know that I have that handy.
Okay, that's okay.
So let's see here.
I love good licorice tea. Yes.
So I am.
I hate black licorice. I like other color licorices.
I'm just going to start doodling on here, and you guys can talk. And if you have a question while I'm going, you just pop something off.
Yeah. Basically, the world of Big Boobed Battle Bard Babes is a Darkling und Heimlich has this crazy idea to try to form a bard band. Normally, bards are solo creatures, and they tend not to work together. And one of the rules is, let's say, Pops, you and I had armies and we were fighting. And you had a bard, and I didn't, I would just surrender. You know, it would just be, okay. But if I have a bard, then the two bards would go off, and they'd have a bard off, and whoever was better at their barding would basically win the battle, and it reduces bloodshed, and it's a lot more peaceful. In fact, one of the stories we have with Freya, who is Darkling's rival, but also a band member, she actually made a deal with the dragon not to fight, but to share gossip and where treasure hoards are if they ever meet on the battlefield. And that's how powerful bards are, or their reputations. Darkling ends up having a metal bow axe securum electronica, which is basically a electronic guitar that doubles as an actual battle axe. And she's tough and cool. I decided to give her more of a dramatic feel because I just thought it'd be kind of fun. And I found out the name Unheimlich means weird, but oh my God, it's so cool weird. You just got to get it in your life. Oh my gosh. And every German speaker, and especially native German, they're like, Unheimlich, oh, that's already good. So, now one peculiar thing about her is she's actually scarred over 90% of her body because of a revenge spell. She was pregnant with a child, and during a dark ritual or a raiding of her village, the infant was actually carved out of her belly and killed in front of her. And as she was dying, she just started reciting the song, and the person who did the attacking recognized it and told everybody to flee. Basically, if something like that happens, and they call, and I forgot the name of the song that I developed, but when they sing the song, the body fully emulates to where it's nothing but bone.
Emulates. Yeah,
emulates, except for their face and hands, which is still in perfect form, and it's supposed to be the ultimate revenge for the death of their unborn child, and it just this fireball of cleansing just goes out everywhere. And if you are innocent, if you weren't involved with the attacking, you're untouched by the flames, only the evil. But the guy got out of range before it was all completed, and she stopped her song, and now she's covered basically from neck to toe in scar tissues. Even her breasts are just complete scar tissue. So
God up boobies.
Yeah. So she could literally walk around. She could never feed a child. Then there's like a heavy scar area.
You have put way more thought into this than I expected.
Yeah. Well, that
Kinda
was her origin. Yeah, that's her origin. You know, so I come up with very strong origins for all the different band members. So, but yeah, that's Darkling. Tragic at past, and she's hunting for the person who murdered her husband and her child, and she will kill them. She will take revenge. She doesn't know if the song will come back, or if it will be by her hand, or something. But she will kill the raiders. And Les started getting involved, and it's like, instead of making them raiders, why don't it be part of this dark occult ritual? And it's basically these evil occultists. I'm like, oh my god, that's amazing. And then we started playing with this other character, a band member, the drummer, and gave him more of a wild backstory. And it's like, wow, this is turning into something cool. So you got hot babes, a drummer who hangs out with the babes because he likes to be around babes, and they do different gigs all over, and they get in trouble and they get out of trouble. And we decided to make it more of a stream of consciousness kind of fun instead of a, it's structured, but it's more like, wait, wouldn't this be cool? Oh, wait, no, that'd be dumb. Let's take that out. Wait, what about this? Oh, that'd be cool. And I did a crossover with another one of my properties, with two properties. There's another book I have, The Ultimate Adventure of the Cockerel's Fist. And the Cockerel's Fist is a bar nightclub that is run. They pay you, or if you want to eat, you go in there, you got to tell a true story about one of your adventures. And the better the story, and it has to be real, the more food you get for free. They don't charge for food. But in that place, there's like items and gold and trophies of people's conquests. And it's almost like this museum of hoarding and raiding. And there's a spell on the place that, let's say I was a paladin and you were a demon, we could not come to physical blows, no matter how hard we tried. We could insult each other. But in that place, in a radius around it, fighting cannot happen. I'll try to throw a punch, it's held back. I try to set something on fire, the fire goes out. I try to use my psionics, it's blocked. It is a very powerful spell in this nightclub place, and the owners are idiots. They're goofballs. But Ilka, which is a very powerful wizard, kind of runs the place. So she's had some involvement with Darkling, so there's some crossover there. And the spaceship from Outer Planet Panic, the Humans, actually found a shard of a neutron star that was surrounded by the Zarnonian element. And so they worked with Darkling and Ilka to get that. And Darkling got
You're making my brain hurt, Charles.
Yeah, but Darkling got her metal bow axe securum from the aliens.
Making my brain hurt.
I know.
And that's I feel like my job in co-writing this is to like bring it back around where it becomes coherent again.
Yeah, and he's making sure it's cool.
Make it coherent,
right?
Because dude, your brain goes off on so many tangents.
Yeah,
I'm just like, I used to get accused of that all the time, of like going off on tangents. I'm like, no, you ain't met Charles.
Right.
Like it's crazy. And I
it connects. That's the thing. That's the thing that amazes everybody.
It's kind of nuts.
Yeah. Oh, right. On a side note, Pops, I printed up 10 copies of my Kremen RPG for playtesting to raise money for art in the future. And I've nearly sold all 10 of them. I sold 7 at one day show. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And we already have updates from the playtesting.
I do want to be part of the playtesting.
That's because you're a cool Pops.
I want to do it live, though.
You know?
I want to play the game live.
Yeah, that would be just amazing.
the question would be, do you have can you run it under one of the existing online systems? Do you have your own maps and stuff to display? How are you going to roll this out?
Right now, it's basically the rules for playing the game. So, for example, let's say that you've decided it's a medieval world. You could have any world setting that you want,
right?
Because the game, it could be a superhero world, it could be a medieval world, it could be a horror world, it could be a dead world, it could be a angelic world, God world, whatever you want. So let's say you make a base world for it, and it's a medieval world, and you deal with realistic combat. There's no resurrection, and healing can only be done, through low. There's only low magic in it. So it's more like a Lord of the Rings.
Right.
So let's say you and I are fighting, and I roll minor wound, and then I roll for damage.
I think you've lost his question, man.
Oh,
yeah. He was asking if this is something like, do you have a virtual tabletop? Do you have
no, not yet.
Maps and things like that?
Not yet.
Yeah.
It's in a PDF form, and everybody can share a PDF, and then that's how they could do it for now.
Okay, so that's in the what I'm looking for. I mean, we can do that. If we could do that, just like we used to play, right?
It's all theater of the mind right now.
Right.
We can do that like we used to play, but what I'm really looking for is
something that's got a visual element to it.
like the map showing where people are moving through the adventure, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we're not
avatars for everybody's character, that kind of shit.
Yeah. So basically, you're asking for an adventure to be made with modules for that. So that we don't have. I think we do have it in the back of the book. I got to look at it more carefully, because the book is 687 pages right now.
Holy crap!
So
that's a lot of rules, Charles.
Hey, it's just like normal D&D.
I have some RPG books, but I don't think any of them are 600 pages, Charles.
Well, okay, you got the Dungeon Master's Guide, right? That's about 300 pages. You got the Player's Manual. That's about 200 pages. Then you got a Monster Manual. That's about 200 pages. Let's say you squish them all together in one book. That's about 700 pages.
Okay,
so,
now here's where my problem is going to be.
Yeah.
I'm a player.
Right.
I should not have a GM copy of this book as a player, because then you know all the twists and turns, and then as a player, it's like you get to take advantage of knowledge you shouldn't have.
Well, the twists and turns, that part is okay because we're play testing. Also, with it, basically the DM will have the adventure, and everybody else knows what they can do with the rules. So, that part is fine.
Rob Wilson Arts, the newest addition to the well, actually, Rob, now you're the second newest addition to the madness, because we also just picked up a show this morning that will be airing Wednesday nights at 8:00. So, but
that's cool.
Rob Wilson Arts, we will be seeing him on the network as well, everybody. So we say hi to Rob, man.
Yeah, Les has been complimented on his perspective. What's amazing about Les is he literally has a three-dimensional spatial visionary placement mind. So he could literally. Oh, now here's a question: when you see the image in your head, do you mentally project it on the page and just fill it in? Okay, because I know artists who do it that way. So for you, what is your process?
I start, if you go back and in rewatch, you look at those initial gesture drawings.
Yeah.
I'll have a general idea. I mean, it's very, very, it's like if I start with an image in my head of sorts, it's blurry.
Right.
And it's pretty much just a shape and a statement, and be like, I want to do kind of a worm. I do a lot of worm's eye views. There's just, I've been accused of overdoing the worm's eye view, but so much of what I like doing needs to have drama to it. And it's like, I find that like these worm's eye views are just perfect if you want to do like epic sort of, rising up kind of fighting something. Right. It's just a thing. And I think it's something I actually picked up from, for those who don't know, I speak a fair amount of Russian. I studied Russian for a few years, and I studied also studied Russian art. Because I came into it, I like a lot of Russian music. Yeah, like Prokofiev and Tchaikovsky and stuff like that. And a lot of the and I was fascinated because I despised socialism. I despised the Soviet Union, for what it was. That was terrible on those people. But I was very fascinated with Soviet propaganda art.
Yeah,
because they could distill down a kind of visual language for making things really spiritual, like it was epic, and they were evoking a sense of the spiritual in the name of the state. And with that in mind, there's a lot of their artwork. Like you would frequently see, you'd see Lenin or Stalin drawn from these worm's eye views, where you're down here and you're looking up at them, and it makes them feel larger than life. And something about that stuff really stuck with me, and I was like, they were doing that for crappy reasons, but the visual language that they were able to tap into with it was intentional. They brought together people who were studied, and they're like, yeah, if we want to have this kind of effect, we're going to do this kind of thing, and so on. And so I paid close attention to that, close attention to a lot of that kind of stuff. And then there's lots of other things out of that. You look at a lot of comic book artists have pulled that angle quite often. I mean, like if you want to do Superman being hopeful, do it from a worm's eye view and brighten it up. If you want to do Batman being stoic, worm's eye view, darken it up. There's kind of a code to it, and like I keep calling it a language. So when I start with an image, I will start with kind of a statement, like, okay, I'm going to draw this character in a kind of an epic sort of moment, just to explore the character, and then I'll from there I'll kind of let my brain flow for a minute and think about where it ends up. But a lot of times from the statement, I'll choose the character and I'll choose kind of the mood that I want, and then I'll just start doodling what seems like abstract lines that usually become these gesture lines. And then from those gesture lines, I'll be like, maybe we could, maybe I'll turn this into something here. Just it becomes, it's like bringing a picture into view.
Yeah, that's cool. But by the way, this is a suggestion: never speak Russian when you're in Italy, and I'll tell you why. Because as you're rushing, everywhere you look, you'll see a Dago, so your time will go fast.
Just tell me he's not your writer, bro. Just tell me.
By the way, there's a guy who says women sell it at the train stations, and I thought, whoa, what is this? Oh, it's chai in India. Yeah, I really love chai tea, especially when there's no sugar in it. That's perfect. And I like when the milk skims at the top, you can pick it up almost like a scab or something. Sometimes I'd put it on my hand and be like, oh, look.
Were you born this way, or did your mother drop you on your head?
Do you want to know how different Charles and I are? Charles likes chai tea, and I like Tai Chi.
Right. That's true. Oh. Yeah, you see how infectious I am? And Les understands all that Haksui stuff. Like a boot to the head.
Oh, God.
Oh, he's amazing. I
remember hearing that skit on Dr. Demento back in the 80s. Boot to the head.
Oh, come on, Master. That really hurt. Oh, that's because you do not have the patience, young one. Well, what if the Alsharani gang get you? Yeah, we want to learn some real stuff. You must be patient, my son. Well, what if I'm not? Boot to that. Oh! Why does that hurt so bad?
Check this out. Here's a particular, like, doing these upward shots of heads is something that the worm's eye view of a head is oftentimes one of the things people fight with the most.
Interesting. I would agree.
Yeah, it's a deceptively difficult angle, which another reason I think I gravitate toward it is because I worked so hard for so long to try and get it down where I could do it, that now it's like, oh, cool, let's do that.
Well, a lot of mistake, and I've noticed when people are used to seeing the cartoon or caricatures of the skull, is the chin is actually a triangle shape. You know, you got the angle that goes towards you, then you got the angle that goes away from you underneath the chin, and trying to convey that conventionally, which you've already done, can be very difficult.
Yeah,
of course, perspective.
The overall shapes and things are a little tricky from these perspectives, like the way the lips will tighten up at certain angles, things like that. But then, you know, everybody touts the Loomis method, which is perfectly fine, and I will pull out some Loomis method for head drawing from time to time. But I'm not entirely sure how you would describe it. I tend to work from what I consider a geometric method.
Agreed.
Where I will, I'm keeping in mind the kind of Loomis sort of, because the proportions are the proportions. You're never going to change that.
Right.
But so, I mean, I'll kind of bounce back and forth where there are certain gestural contours that I know are going to get me close to what I'm looking for most of the time. Like here, where I've just tossed this shape up here and then I establish where a chin is.
Right.
If I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
You see how that's automatically got you started, and it just, I think that's kind of a cartoonist thing.
It's a formula.
Is being able to boil things down.
Right.
So, and I have no issue with that. I think sometimes you have to do that. And if you're a production monkey like I am,
yes,
then you're going to need to do that, because if you don't, you ain't gonna get work done and you ain't gonna get paid.
Yeah, the reason why Les almost never goes to the zoo is that all the primates will break out of their cages and give him bananas because he's such a production monkey.
I don't even understand what you meant there, but okay.
Yeah, that one went over my head too.
Okay, monkeys are in zoo, right?
Don't explain. If you have to explain the joke, Charles, you should just walk away from it. It's something I try to teach you, Charles.
Rob gets it. Rob gets it.
When the joke falls flat, walk away.
I
quickly,
understand.
not slowly. Is that one of those slow music playing, walking with the explosion behind you? This is get away from it quick and move on.
Like I did at your wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Lovey's saying, "Hail, Rob Wilson Arts."
It's Levi, bro. Levi. We're gonna say this every week. It's Levi. Just like your 501 jeans, bro. Levi.
Now he's saying he has to use sculpted models to get that angle. So he's amazed how you're able to use it. Rob talks about a slow burn and also enjoys getting the history. Oh my God. Oh my God. Could you imagine? You go to a convention, all these people just start bringing you bananas and you get like this table full of bananas.
If I end up having some weird convention ritual start because of you, Charles, I will. If people start bringing me bananas, I'm gonna like send them all to your house.
Levi said,
After
throw
they've
bananas at Les.
I'll send back
All I
banana
heard.
I
Levi
was-
said, throw bananas at Les is all I heard.
Yeah, no, I shouldn't retell it, but
Oh God, what?
yeah, but years ago I dated this one lady.
Okay,
and,
we already know you're full of crap because who the hell would have dated you, Charles?
hey, I got proof I'm genetically successful, and it wasn't done in a lab.
You have proof it wasn't done in a lab? You have video. Sweet.
But what was really funny was
Do me a favor, don't leak those. Don't leak those.
no, I won't
Okay.
leak those. But my lady friend's mom asked me if I can get some bananas for making banana bread for church, and she was thinking about making a loaf or two. And I went to this one place, the Hispanic area, and I decided to buy, as a joke, 10 pounds of bananas. And so I brought them back. And she turned it all into these loaves after loaves after loaves of banana bread. And they sold out at church, and they made a lot of money. But she begged me never to bring her another banana as long as I lived. It was very funny.
Can you blame her? Can you? Seriously.
The ears are always fun to try and do in a kind of extreme perspective.
Yeah, I
See,
noticed.
the ear is funky anyway, no matter what direction you're looking at it from.
It's like you got to think of it as a cochlea, like a shell, a coiled shell, and then you end up with a couple of different points that you can pull out of it.
Hey, you notice how some mushrooms taste like meat? What
I
if
don't know where this is going, but I'm
No,
already
I don't know
scared.
if I want to know where this is going. I'm just saying. It's like,
Well, I'm just wondering, what if the brain actually is a mushroom?
Ugh.
Because it grows like fungus, it's shaped like fungus, and then it decided to communicate with the body. So we're actually just a combined fungus. If I were to ever write a Doctor Who episode, I would have a dialogue.
Not Doctor Who. No, we're not going there. We're not going there. We're just no. I love many dorky, geeky things. But Doctor Who, I'm just no. Just that's a hard pass every time. I even tried to watch some modern Doctor Who because it had John Hurt in it, who I like. And I was just like, seriously, what the hell is this shit?
John Hurt.
Yeah, John Hurt.
Oh, yeah. The War Doctor. That's right.
Let's see.
That was during David Tennant's, Matt Smith's reign when that happened.
Yeah, it's I find Doctor Who actually just painful to try and ingest.
Oh no! And
I'm just like nope.
I discovered a 24/7 Doctor Who channel, so it's like, yes, I'm watching John Pertwee again. Hooray! My first Doctor.
Soon as Doctor Who comes out, I'm like, nope, I'm out.
No.
I'm outie.
What we'll do is we'll strap you up and kind of like in Clockwork Orange style, just make you watch all the episodes and see what happens.
Dude, there are international treaties barring shit like that.
Okay. Did you know
hard no.
how we have selective service in our country? In England, you have to sign up to possibly be a doctor on Doctor Who because we regenerate so much. That's England's form of selective services.
Back to the point of the stream.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk a little bit here about some things about drawing hair. So she's got bangs, which I'm really happy about, and I'm going to kind of talk about drawing those. So you see here, I'm focusing on the shape that all those hairs will make as they blow out. and not on individual hairs. I see people do that all the time, and I harp on it all the time. So then,
why do you think you do that?
Because in your head, you think there's hair, and you think about all the little hairs. You have a tendency. People have a tendency to skip to the granular.
Yeah.
Instead of stepping back their perception to look at things in terms of the broader shape that they make.
Right.
So, it's much better to think of hair in terms of the overall shape it makes. And this is one of those things that cartoonists get right.
Yeah.
Good cartoonists are able to distill things to the most basic shapes. Well, folks who are not doing, cartooning per se, which I would say that what I do is still a form of cartooning, even though it is much, much higher resolution as far as detail goes into things.
Right.
But it's still, if you start from that cartoonist perspective of distilling things down to basic shapes, then you will end up with a form language that speaks better. It will get your point across much better.
Yeah.
So then, like there, I got that broad shape, that whole sort of thing like that. And then from there, I'll, of course, I had actually started with this, but I'll, from there, I'll come through and maybe add some more shapes, some little things like that. And you can see over here, just little stuff like that. It's already conveying the same, the same idea.
It's an elephant with a Beatles top.
I have no idea where you're getting that. You literally must be on drugs, Charles. I love you, but if I didn't know what a straight edger you are, I would think you were high AF all the time.
Right. But have you realized that I'm not?
Oh no, I know that you're not, which I'm like, damn, son.
Yeah.
Levi says mushrooms are great for you.
Actually, some of them can be.
Like mine.
I was going to say, in my recovery from the stroke, I regularly consume a lot of lion's mane mushroom and lion's mane mushroom extracts.
Yeah.
Because lion's mane promotes neuron and axon growth in the brain.
And that helps, especially when you've had damage to the brain, whether through just normal age, time, or a few others. I'm just sometimes wondering if the hippocampus.
Lion's mane.
You're a hippocampus, Charles.
Lion mane's mushrooms, Levi. See if that helps.
You're going to hippocampus out in my backyard next time you come down here.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like an illegal position for OnlyFans.
Ick. And just like that, we're done here, Charles. We're done.
Oh, rats.
You're terrible, Charles. All right.
What's fascinating with this is
movie shadows. Sorry.
Yeah, you can see her mentality with things. You can also see that even though she's really good at playing and stuff, because of the immense scar tissue. Hold on, there's somebody at my door. I'll be right back.
Saved by strangers, y'all. We love Charles. If we didn't love on him, we wouldn't pick on him. So,
is Mr. Postman? Look, it's Mr. Postman.
I'm digging the way this is going. I feel like this is going to be a pretty good piece.
Back in the day, Robin Williams did a little Mr. Rogers sketch, and he had a little segment in there about Mr. Postman. He said, "Here comes Mr. Postman with my package from Colombia. Sometimes it's the only way I can tolerate you little shits." Yesterday, brought my package from Fredericks.
That's funny. There's a guy I know, I'm kind of loosely friends with, who is the actor who played Thudbutt in the movie Hook. The little fat kid who ends up being the leader of the Lost Boys at the end.
Yeah.
I'm friends with that guy. He's a cool dude. Anytime somebody brings up Robin Williams, I always am kind of reminded of Thudbutt and my friend Rashawn.
Yep. Rod, it was on an album called Wow, Reality. What a concept. And it was probably still to this day is my favorite stand-up album of all time of anybody. And
That's bold
stuff.
words. Bold words there, man.
Yeah, there's been some great stuff, man, but Robin just fucking killed it, that whole album, right? I mean, right from the beginning, the beginning and the end had a beginning and ending. It had a beginning and ending theme to it. Right?
He usually did stuff in a really coherent sort of way. I mean,
he ages throughout the show, and then at the end, he starts as Robin, and as little kid Robin. At the end of the show, he's old man Robin. It's like
I always like that kind of thing. When it's there's a coherency to the entire performance.
The sad part is he played himself live as an older man than he actually ended up to be. I mean, that's really the sad part. Is you can
that is actually
album,
really damn sad
and you will hear what he would have sounded like if he'd actually gotten much older.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah. Let's see here. All right, we're looking up here, and we've definitely established some light is coming from somewhere in one of these directions. I'm thinking mostly from pretty much right here. So we get these undersides. And that means the underside of this hair is going to be kind of.
I do have to ask you a question. I do have to ask the question of Charles.
Hi, Brent. Thank you for knocking. I'd like a guitar.
Charles, we want to know, did you get your package from Fredericks?
No, it was for my mom. She got the package for Fredericks. Whatever Fredericks is.
Your 90-year-old Fredericks is lingerie, Charles. So you just made that
weird. My mom would have done that.
Yeah.
As a practical joke to send it to somebody else.
Charles's mom is a hoot, man.
Yeah. She's in Shameless. If you watch season 8, episode 1, you can see her.
Great lady.
No, it is not. The last thing he says is, "I want to show you something, but you're going to have to get real close."
Oh boy, that sounds illegal.
Let's see here now. All right, let's turn off my blue lines on these and merge them together. Merge that down. Turn on some blue line again. Throw another layer on here. It's set to blue. Now then.
I trying to figure out how to change the blue lines into dark lines. So when I get together with you, I'm definitely going to have some courses.
You can change like the blue lines on a layer. Like there's just this little thing here that's automatically set for that blue. That you click it, but if you click the double click the little color swatch there, it will bring up. I don't know if it's going to bring up the window of my color picker on the stream, but right now there's a color picker that it brings up, so I could change this to a green, whatever, change this to whatever. And then there's also, this is another way to do it. So like if I chose this orange from this palette and I clicked on the paint bucket, and it does that. There's a lot of interesting uses I've found for that particular function. Like when I'm coloring comics, sometimes I'll turn that on and I'll pick a color and I'll do some flatting with a specific color just so it's all in one layer like that. Oh, okay. There's neat stuff you can do with it.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Let's move my my design reference off to the side for a second.
Okay.
And I'm gonna turn this layers
Cool.
this layers what is that called? It's the I don't even know what that's called anymore. I just clicked the damn button.
It's
just layer color. So yeah, and then that way I'm gonna be drawing on here with this red. That way I can differentiate. So then,
I've actually had the FBI come to my house.
That's not at all surprising.
Yeah. I once something really funny is I have a friend who reviews aircraft, and sometimes I would call him up for scientific facts to like make my sci-fi stuff more cool. So I was coming up with some names for some giant robot stuff. One was Have Lightning, and the other was Have Shatter. And I called him up and I said, "Hey, I want to ask you about what would be a cooler name, Have Lightning or Have Shatter?" And he says, "What do you mean? Have lightning for a secret project for a giant robot." Then the phone hung up. Then about 2 minutes later, the phone was picked up or called me, and it was my friend. He says, "Hey, you're going to be visited by the government, and they're going to ask you some questions. That's all I'm allowed to say. Answer the door when they come." And in literally 10 minutes, somebody was there. Then they came in, and they started asking me about what do I know about Have Lightning. And I showed them my drawings for the robot, and I told them it's meant for Heavy Metal Vehicle Experiment, HAVE, have. And I thought either Lightning or Shatter would be kind of cool. And he said, "Okay, I see that this was just serendipity. Turns out that we're actually working on a government project, and it's actually called Have Lightning, HAV Lightning. And don't know what the secret project was, but because all the calls are monitored and there's high security clearances with Hughes aircraft, I was visited, and the guy wrote in a language I couldn't even understand. It was like a weird shorthand, but he said,
"Hey folks, this ADD moment has been brought to you by the letter prostate."
So, what's up, Woody? I think you missed all the good stuff.
So, basically,
oh Lord,
yeah, basically, I was talking to him about then he asked me, "What do you know about satellites?" I said, "Not really much, but in my comic book, I'm going to have it where you could focus in on a dime on the street." And the guy just looked very serious for a second. And then I realized, I told him, "They can do that?" And he's like, "This interview is over, sir." And he left. Later, I found out the satellites can actually do that. And I'm like, "Oh my God."
Oh, so, yeah, they can read the Surgeon General warning on the side of a cigarette pack from satellite.
Right. I'm like, Jesus Christ. So, but that was very interesting, being visited by the government. It's like
they're not your friends.
They contact me, then they realize, oh, the guy just has this creative mind, and he just makes up stuff, and apparently it's similar in name or something. And then
creative mind is code for batshit crazy.
All you got to do is go. All you got to do is say, "Man, I like comic books, bro," and that's all you would have had to say. And he'd have been,
"Yeah."
Oh,
I gave him some of my comic books to research. So he was happy.
"Oh shit, it's a comic book writer," and he'd just turned around and walked away. Man, he wouldn't even ask you anymore.
Right. So some secret branch of the government has copies of Kremen with Have Lightning, Heavy Metal Vehicle Experiment.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking wild.
Yeah.
Pardon me. There we go.
Here's
a neat little trick. When
I had the Secret Service show up at my door once.
Really?
Yeah.
When you're working digital, you can kind of compensate for your own
failings.
if I'm drawing and I've got a long straight line or a long relatively smooth line that I want, but I'm zoomed in super close, that's a long distance for me to grip my hand on, right? But if I draw a long kind of loosely curved but smooth line here up close, you see all the waves in it like that.
Yeah, because we have variance in hypertonicity.
Whatever. If I zoom out to where the canvas is small, see that whole movement there was done with my whole arm,
right,
and was kind of shaky. If I zoom out and do it quick like that,
wow.
Now, see the difference? That's just a little trick of digital inking is sometimes you can do like your hold lines
right
zoomed out and you'll get them much smoother.
So with zooming out, your movement is in proportion to the zoom out. So instead of having to draw, let's say 5 inches,
yep,
all you have to do is maybe 1/4 of an inch.
Yeah.
And because of that, the variance in hypertonicity, that's muscle tension. So for example, when I increase the hypertonicity on my flexor, the finger closes. When I loosen the hypertonicity on one side, but increase it on the other side, the finger moves or the hand moves. And hypertonicity is the variance because all the time when something is flat.
These things are very important to know for enhancing your own masturbation.
What?
You want to hear my Secret Service story?
Yes.
Secret Service story?
Yes.
Yeah. Back in the day, I used to sell a lot of baseball cards and stuff like that. When I lived in Phoenix, in my, I guess, like 30s, late 20s, early 30s.
Right.
And my friend had come over with these uncut sheets of
I was going to say something uncut. Pops.
Uncut sheets of David Robinson rookie cards. And
that's cool.
No, because they don't come that way. Okay. They come in sheets of the whole set, and you cut one card out of each set, right?
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? They don't come in sheets of a player.
Right.
It's a specialty card of just that player, right? Okay. So these are David Robinson rookie cards, right? And I knew they were counterfeit and told dude these are counterfeit. I'm buying these for the nostalgic value, not because I'm going to try to cut them up and resell them or anything.
Right.
So I took the sheet and I wrote counterfeit across it. Right. I did that to like 10 sheets. I had like 10 sheets. And
okay.
I wrote counterfeit across it, right? And let just like that. And I guess dude got jacked up for him, the dude I got him from. And they told him, you need to get all of the ones that you gave away or sold or whatever and get them back, or you're going to prison, basically. So dude calls me up and he's like, hey man, you got to get those, make sure you get them all back. I said, I didn't sell, dude, I told you I wasn't going to sell the damn thing. Send the men over and I'll hand them right over, right? So the fucking Secret Service comes to my door, man. And it's cool because I invited them in and I'm showing them all my collectibles and my comic books and all my shit, right?
Nice.
And they're all just BSing. And I showed him, I said, they're not the way they were when I got them. And he goes, what do you mean? Did you cut them up? And I'm like, no, dude, I wrote counterfeit across them. And he's like, all right, no problem. What's up? And after that, we were just talking like buds, right? It wasn't even investigation anymore because they knew that I wasn't trying to sell them as counterfeit. And then I told dude I wasn't selling them at all, man. I have all kinds of weird shit in my personal collection.
You basically got off the suspect list, and fortunately you weren't on the victims list. It was just I'm
a collector. I don't collect. I don't flip shit. I collect shit.
Yeah.
Granted, there's times when I need money and I might sell some shit, but I'm not a flipper. I don't buy anything with the intention of selling it later. I never have.
Right.
I have a son and grandkids to leave shit to.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to sell it off.
Hey, do you remember a TV show with the dolphin called Flipper?
Yeah.
Could you imagine if they did a crossover with a real estate show and Flipper becomes the ultimate flipper?
for oceanfront property?
Yes.
So bad.
Becomes the real
So
estate
bad.
agent for the oceanfront property in Beverly Hills or in the Southern California area. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Woodham says they call him Flipper faster than lightning.
So terrible.
Sharks of War. I hear Ben Lacey in the background already.
Oh yeah. Oh, Les and I, we both come up with like some battle war games, and I came up with one, and Les is like, I will do the drawings on it. It's called Clowns versus Mimes.
Oh hell yeah! Clowns versus mimes will live. I'm like Charles. Most of the time, you're kind of a crackhead, but this moment, you did good. You did good, Charles.
Yeah.
You did good.
Aren't clowns mimes?
No, there's a major difference.
Oh yeah, and they will let you know about it.
Yes, mimes are silent. They pantomime to communicate what they're doing, and usually they're black and white. Clowns are full color, and they're just obtuse. For example, we're going to have clown pie grenade throwers, so the pies are actually grenades. For the mimes, you'll have invisible dog attack cords. So you'll see the mimes holding like a leash in the air, but the dogs do something. I mean, the things that my other business partner and I have come up with is just over the top, you know, and it just wants to exist. And then if we can talk about it, Les has an amazing battle strategy game too. With
Are you talking about Gobs and Grubbles?
Yep, Gobs and Grubbles, which is just
yeah, totally goofball.
Yeah,
you know, it's like so out of character for me, but it's a goofy, fun little game. It's basically just a simple little board game where your players are playing a little squad of goblins.
Yeah,
and you're around a pen, like an animal pen.
Right.
In the pen are these creatures called grubbles.
Yeah.
And the game is to knock the other players out of the pen, which you can do on foot, but it is incentivized drastically for you to tame a grubble.
Yeah.
So the way it ends up working is you will want to tame a grubble and ride it so you can attack with it. And there's all kinds of stupid slapstick stuff that can happen if taming it goes wrong, or it's all kinds of goofball crap. So it's a in a lot of ways it's an outgrowth of kind of an outgrowth of where I used to play a lot of Warhammer stuff back in the day. I loved Blood Bowl.
Oh yeah,
Blood Bowl was always awesome. So, you know, I was like, man, I want to make up something that is just completely silly and fun. And in a serious note, I am actually working on, just like with the tarot deck, developing a handful of things that are comics adjacent.
Right.
Because, you know, there's a lot of interest out there for things, a lot of love of things that folks in this world, this market, will enjoy that aren't necessarily books. So yeah, you know, I'm like, let's lean into that a little bit, you know.
You know, on a side note, Levi talked about his comic book Galaxy Memorial Park, and apparently he posted an interesting newsletter link up. So if you want to learn more about that, that's neat. I actually have a relative buried at Valhalla Memorial Park in North Hollywood. He was the first to fly across the English Channel with a passenger, and also he's the reason why New Orleans International Airport used to be called Moisant Airport before they changed it after the musician. But my ancestors were early flyers.
Yeah. I'm just going to walk away from all the different jokes that come into mind for that.
Oh, boy.
There's a lot.
I know.
I'm actually having choice paralysis on the ones that I would go with.
See,
I'm just gonna go out there with things you didn't know and leave it at that.
Yes. And I come from famous aviators. But the Galaxy Memorial Park looks pretty cool. So I've just been looking at some images and some of the comics. And even though we talk about our own comics, it's always fun to promote other people who are involved with the Comic Madness Network group. Because if you think about it, but we all watch each other's backs. We all, kind of help each other. And when we see each other at conventions, we'll be like, hey, we'll cross ladder. It's like, wait, you got $20? Tell you what, give me that 20, and then I'll run to Levi for Galaxy Alpha. Like, here, grab his book, grab my book, grab this guy's book, and all of a sudden you now have 4 new books because of seeing us at a convention. So I think that's cool.
It's what we do. Promotion is key, guys.
Yeah,
promotion, all that networking. That's all key to growth for the whole indie nation.
Right.
You can sit in your bubble, you can sit in your tidal pool, or you can jump out into the ocean and join a bigger thing. And that's what
I sit in my bubble and draw.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
He's a tidal pool. He's a tidal pool.
Not a hard bubble.
We had to drag Les out into the ocean kicking and screaming.
Oh, yeah. I bring him out to conventions, and he hates me for about a week. And then after a while, he forgives me.
We have to drag him out into the ocean kicking and screaming. He likes his tidal pool. He likes it.
I got my little sandbox, and I enjoy staying in it. And just
like their own sandbox too. So you're more cat-like than I thought.
I do what I do.
Yes, which is amazing work.
I'm out here in the shallows in the ocean and trying to get toward deeper water, bigger and better things. That's
So what would I be in all of this?
A turd.
You're actually in an adjacent tidal pool to Les's.
Yes. I'm Les's adjacant.
I allowed myself to get into doing some inks there before I drew her base on here, which I need to do.
Right. Are you going to make it look like a violent axe cool and high-techy and stuff like that? Because she did get it.
I'm seriously thinking that it will be an homage to Gene Simmons.
Oh, nice.
Because, I mean, Gene...
You gonna put a big old cod piece on there? Is that what you're saying?
Oh!
Oh, no, that would be an homage to Wasp. And you bet your ass somebody in this book is going to have a flamethrower cod piece.
Oh, my God, that's awesome.
That will happen. Like I am an old metal head,
right?
Hardcore old metal head.
Yeah,
and I love Heavy Metal Magazine from back in the day, and all the aesthetics. I'm not a big fan of Jack Black, but I love that video game he did called Brutal Legend.
That was hysterical.
Brutal Legend was choice heavy metal culture.
Yeah.
And that is the thing that I am hoping I can do with this book is make a book that is straight up metalhead culture blown so far out of proportion, just like they did in the 70s and 80s with Heavy Metal Magazine, that it just is goofy. Like, it'll be fun.
Right. We want to get ridiculously cool with it.
Let's see here now.
Oh, wow. If you look up Gene Simmons' axe guitar, there's some really cool stuff.
Yeah, you weren't familiar with that, I take it.
Oh, no, this axe bass is cool. Yeah, it's real cool. Cool. It's cool.
Yeah. And in your case, would you make it double-sided or single-sided?
I'm going to tell you a little story about that bass, too. There's a mirror section on the axe itself.
Right.
and he will take the reflection from a spotlight and point it on the groupie he's trying to get with, or point them out to the roadies so the roadies can go out in the crowd and go, hey, Gene wants to meet you, and drag them backstage. And I know this for a fact because they tried to drag one of my girlfriends backstage and she's like, nah.
So he wanted to practice becoming genetically successful.
It was funny, dude. I was like, we're in like the third or fourth row, and I'm there to see Ace. I'm not there to see Gene. And Gene keeps flashing that fucking reflection of the spotlight on my girl right next to me, which is right. It's hitting me too, and I'm just looking at him like, dude, forget it. Shit.
You look to her and you're like, I'm glad you're not a whore.
No, I mean, I'm not going to say I didn't see some girls go backstage that day.
Oh boy,
mine wasn't one of them. Because
they're called the oh my god. Hold on.
Y'all be nice to Kiss groupies. They were a part of the show for a long time.
I am. Hold on. There's like, I forgot the name of it. It's not a union, but it's like a club of people, but it's another word for a club.
Koepp?
Association?
Yeah. The Female Association of Pipe Cleaners.
I didn't say that. Don't know nothing about that. Hit Parader was, yes, one of the magazines. They used to put the lyrics to the songs in the back of the book.
Right.
Which was the only reason I cared about the book at all, because they put
Hit Parader was a real rag.
Yeah, the articles were subpar and not worth reading, but having the lyrics to the songs was key.
That was always kind of cool.
Yeah. I used to sing in a rock and roll band, and I needed to know what that dude just screamed.
Oh, man. Could you imagine Gene Simmons making out with Taylor Swift on stage while they're playing guitars?
Okay, no. Taylor Swift is garbage.
Yeah.
And Gene, she would be blessed and honored to be able to sniff the sweat from Gene Simmons' ball sack.
That would be such a comical moment. Watching her back.
This show went freaking way off the rails quick, didn't it?
Okay, I'll stop.
I normally am pretty behaved.
Wow, that armor's looking awesome, and you're talking about sniffing nut sacks, dude.
That's not me. I don't go to the nut sack.
No, it was Taylor Swift sniffing Gene Simmons' nut sack.
Okay, Mike and Mindy, if you hear that, you got to make that into a comic.
Too early in the day for this. Too early in the day.
Oh Lord, what have I done?
Oh my God! Yeah. Tell me,
Jesus.
Name when Divinity Comics does it would be called a Swiftie.
Oh Lord,
Miss Swiftie, the ball sweat sniffer.
What have I done,
Grandpa? Thank you for popping in.
What's up, God? Added some stuff to the network today, guys. This guy right here, where you at, Rob? Yeah, Rob Wilson Arts is going to be bringing his draw stream to the network, and talking to Joe Backman about bringing his crafting show to the network, where he does wood burnings, and he does, like 3D printing stuff, all kinds of shit. Something you might be into, cops.
Yeah, that's cool.
Bringing more shows to the network, doing my job every day. Every day.
Hey, Les, serious question. What do you enjoy about inking? Because I know that sometimes with the drawing, you almost splatter it out. You get it out quickly, but sometimes with the inking, you almost seem ballaic. Almost like that's where you're just really becoming lyrical with your art.
The inking is when it becomes a real thing.
Okay.
Like, to me, the pencils are kind of a gross intermediary step needed to get to where I'm doing the inks.
Okay.
Because if it's painting, The underdrawing is absolutely crucial and necessary.
Right.
But it's the painting that is the real star of the show.
Yeah.
Which makes it the fun part. And with, black and white, pen and ink, it's the inks are the star of the show.
Yeah.
So, it's just how that works. And that's the part that I really, if you notice when I'm inking, I get quieter because when I'm inking, I just kind of go into my own space. Yeah. It's really the part that I enjoy the most.
Yeah.
Let's see.
We had a really, really good turnout yesterday for the draw stream, the exclusive draw stream over on Pilled.
Okay.
Really, really good turnout for that yesterday.
Cool. I have not been over there yet. I honestly don't even know what Pill is.
It's just, it's another Rumble or YouTube or whatever. It's another place where you can stream your stuff live, but it's more of a free speech platform.
Gotcha.
Which basically means you don't have to bite your tongue every time you say certain words that YouTube will slap you down for. You can play trailers, you can play movies, you can play music, you can do all the things you used to be able to do on YouTube, right?
Yeah, like playing Wicked.
It's just another platform to broadcast to, but it's way more fun. Like even in the chat, like here you see written word in the chat, right? Over there, they have little GIFs that you can post with a comment in the chat, which makes it fun. It's like, oh, you guys are high, and you post a GIF with Cheech and Chong passing the joint, right? Something like that. It's like more fun. It's more interactive. And like I said, we had a huge turnout yesterday for being a small channel on that platform.
Yeah.
I'm
that's
liking
cool.
it. I'm liking it. And that's because of Kaz and Cosmic Grandpa right there and Christy over at Flip City. If I hadn't met them, man, we wouldn't even be a legit business. So
Flip City is amazing. I love Flip City.
That was my break. That was the thing I'd been waiting for while I put in all this work for these years, right? That was my deal, And going to Pilled. That's what I'm talking about, cause the exclusive draw stream we did there yesterday was fucking sweet. And also I set up a new one on D Live. So we'll be broadcasting to D Live here when we move everything over to the new StreamYard. We have a new StreamYard studio. We'll be moving.
You know what I love about your shows is they sound like they could be really raunchy shows, but they end up being really cool shows.
Well, Killer Karen's a little on the edge, but
right.
Charles, you need to go on Killer Karen, bro.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Have you watched any of those?
No.
Oh, you have to watch it before you say, "Oh, that'd be fun."
Go on it.
Go watch the first 2 episodes.
Okay.
And
Killer Karen. Yeah, send me links for that. That'd be great.
It's in the YouTube playlist. Everything is in a YouTube playlist on my YouTube channel.
Okay. I got it.
Even this one has its own playlist.
Really?
On the YouTube channel. Yeah. Okay. Everything we do has its own playlist on the YouTube channel. So whatever show you're looking for, that Killer Karen, all the episodes are there. Fourth Wall Interviews has its own. Every playlist is its own show. And you can binge watch all that shit, man, going back years.
Yeah.
Monday Madness we've been doing for like almost 4 years now.
Right.
Maybe a little longer than 4. I don't even know.
Isn't that crazy?
I'm just noticing this, and this is the logical side coming out, is her armor is extremely functional because on vital areas like where the heart would be, the chest, which could be a large area, for a target, the arms are very well protected for what they're doing, and even you got the leather, but it's enough padding that if she could take maybe a light slice from dodging, and I just noticing that it's like this is extremely logical. You have quote boob armor, but in this case it makes actual logical.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So that's
kind of like the purpose they've stated for Batman having the yellow thing around the bat on his chest.
Yeah.
It makes it a more likely target for the most armored area. Well, people go look at the boobies.
Right.
So we armor the boobies.
Yeah.
Because when you're targeting, you're going to target the boobies.
Right.
So we want to protect the boobies.
Yeah.
Now, Levi just doubled down on the offer that I gave you during the pre-show chat last week.
Whoa.
Open invite to any of the 3 draw streams. You see what I'm saying? It's
that's less. I'll just have to watch from a distance.
Yep.
Yeah, of course it's less. You can learn to draw. You can learn.
Oh,
Look.
What I do is I sit around for 3 days without bathing and I draw flies.
Charles, I'll tell you what. If there's ever a time when I can't be there and I need a co-host to field the comments and stuff for me,
yeah,
I'll bring you in.
That could be interesting.
Because that's all I do. I don't draw either. I just field
really?
the comments and everybody. That way, everybody can keep their head down, like Les right there right now.
Right.
They
It'll be fun.
They're working, right?
Like,
they're not watching the chat. I'm
you know,
watching the chat in Rumble. I'm watching the chat on Twitch, watching the chat on YouTube, on Facebook, on Pilled. I'm watching all these different chats so
Right.
that I can field the questions and stuff for these guys while they draw.
Oh, that's very smart.
That's the only reason I'm there. Because I don't belong on the show as an artist. I'm just
Why?
like the mechanical host, like the guy behind the curtain, like Cos likes
Oh my
to say.
God.
You know?
Instead of saying host, imagine if you were just the mechanical hoe.
It is Christmas.
People get you on farms.
It is Christmas, but you can never only go with one hoe. It's ho ho.
Right. You need 3 hoes.
You can't stop at one hoe.
But
Dude,
keep,
I'm 50 years old. I ain't got the energy for that.
yeah, but keep Mo away from the 3 Stooges, because what happens when you get the 2 together?
Oh God.
And the other cool thing about our draw stream, the one on Pilled, that's different from the other one, is like the other ones that are on YouTube. If somebody brings up something, a video clip they want to show or something, but oh damn, YouTube's going to strike it. On Pilled, we can go ahead and show that.
Right.
What we're talking about. You know what I mean? And it adds a different dimension. That's why Levi said on the Pilled show, I'm also the DJ, because I can pull up clips and I can pull up current events and I can pull up, trailers to movies or whatever the hell that they're talking about and actually show the fans what they're talking about.
I noticed you had a thing called Hail to the Chat. Could you imagine you parody a song from that? Hail to the chat. If you don't, we will kill you.
Feel free to write one, Charles. Feel free.
No, don't encourage it.
Yeah, no, look, I like theme songs. We just got a new one. Did you guys see our latest outro?
Really?
It's actually a slideshow of all the different shows' thumbnails.
Wow.
And a actual Madness theme song.
That's cool. Speaking of outros, we've gone a half hour over.
Yeah, I'm going long today.
Okay.
Because I'm going to keep pounding on this. I'm liking how this is going. I'm enjoying myself. So
good.
Going to kind of keep going on it.
Yeah.
I do have to dip out because I have to make an appearance on somebody else's show.
Okay.
Go.
I'm not going to be over there long because I got some other stuff to do. But if you're still active when I come back, I'll make sure I pop in. All you got to do to shut it down is hit the outro button, right?
The outro button.
The end stream will play the outro. You don't have to do nothing else. Just stay in the studio till it's over.
So if I hit end stream, the outro play, and then it's done.
Yeah, you hit end stream, it's going to give you a button that says play outro and end stream. You hit that.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
But it also says stay in the studio until the outro is over.
Right.
Okay. So
you're trapped watching all the commercials. Because if you go out too early, the commercials don't play, and then we're being unfair to the advertisers.
Well, we already played our ads. That's just the outro. It's the new Madness song. I want you to hear it. I want you to see what we put together. And actually, we have to edit again because we got to add Rob's and we got to, you know what I mean? It's like every freaking day I'm adding a new show and I got to edit the damn video because every day we're adding something new. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Tell them no more adding.
But I will be back, guys, or not.
Oh, that was cool.
Hey.
All us did was sneeze and it was done.
Bye. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye, Lord Pops. All right, now we could really have fun. Now that Pops is
God. Lord Charles.
Well, I think not only is this like a really fun project, and I think we're going to have a hell of a lot of fun with it. I'm also looking forward to doing the sculpts for Outer Planet Panic.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that looks so cool. She makes Supergirl look like a wimp.
All right, I need to get back in here and do that damn bass.
Okay.
Let's see. So let's do.
Boy, I wish we could like good bass music or something for the background.
All right, and we're going to use the no, not the parallel ruler. I want the perspective ruler.
Okay.
And then I'm going to do perspective line here.
Oh, that's cool.
And a perspective line, see, right here.
All right.
And then doink, get rid of that and that, turn those off.
Okay.
And then let's do perspective line. Let's go here. And then go here.
Oh.
Are you doing something that's causing my audio to slap back, Charles?
No, not that I know of.
Then we're going to turn this back normal. And I want that blue turned off.
It looks like she's just holding onto a beam of light for the moment, but it will soon become an amazing Metoboac Securum Electronica.
All right, you're making my head hurt.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Let's get this in here.
Oh, that's just over the top. Now, are the arms on a different layer, or do you just stop at a certain point, or is it automatic, like won't go over where other ink is?
I've got it in a different layer right now.
Okay.
So then, so then let's go ahead and make sure that we've drawn all the way through like that. This is a neat little trick. Okay. So I'm fully drawing through.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna add a layer mask.
Okay.
I'm gonna take my lasso, kind of follow the outline of what I know I want.
Right
here, and then do that. And it looks like I deleted it, but I did not, because if I come over here and turn enable back on, that's still there.
Right.
That's going to allow me to take my magic wand, drop that in there. And which way do I want to do this? Let's go. We use the fill. You can use the bucket on this. We can also use this fill.
Right.
And just fill that all in like that. Then, yeah, I'm going to keep that just like that. Then I'm going to go ahead and do some. No. Come back here.
And any luck with hunting?
No, it's been a bad year for hunting. The only deer that I got this year, I got by hitting it with my damn car.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And too bad you couldn't drag that one home.
Yeah. All right. So, all right. Here's where I'm about to get very, very anal.
Okay.
24 frets.
Whoa.
24 frets is the proper number of frets, in my opinion, unless it's from Gibson, who does 22.
Right.
But so let's go here, do this, and then here.
Oh, wow.
No, that one. Why is that displaying over there?
I don't know. Whoa. That's so
I
cool.
wish they had that so I could change where that displays at. I was hoping I could just use that. Am I player with that? Or what? No, anyway. So, all right. This is going to have to be eyeballed, and I hate that because I'm a purist about guitar stuff.
Right. As you should be.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. That last one's too close.
All right.
24 right there. All right. So that is pretty much, I mean, the spacing is not measured out, so I'm not being that anal, but that's about right.
Yeah.
Not go in and kind of tweak the thickness on some of these, but yeah, it's not bad.
So if the spline moved properly the way you would have, then you would have used the spline to assist you with the measurement as to where to place all of the frets, correct?
I was hoping that I could get an evenly spaced grid drawn out there, and then I could just manipulate that grid until I see the 24, but I'm just like, screw it, I'm going to eyeball it.
Yeah, I think it's great. You are a consummate expert.
All right, now let's turn that off, and I'm just going to add some little stuff on here to kind of give it a little bit of texture. All right, there's that, and then we'll keep her traditional with a 4-string bass, and I'll say show this in all layers. And then I'll create a layer on top of that, set to monochrome. I'm going to turn on. Do I want to do that?
You ever use 2 colors for layout, like red and blue, like animators do, or red and green?
Sometimes,
Okay.
not often. All right, so I'm going to have the bridge of this is going to be down here. So I'm just going to give myself a little marker here for that.
Okay.
So there's that. I've got my, whatchamacallit, I've got this, let's come in here, get rid of a little bit of this. Okay, that's better. That looks better.
Yeah, by the way, Rob Wilson Art says, awesome work. The ink is on spot.
Thanks, man.
And Woodium says, they are thematically spread, thematically spread. I wouldn't be surprised if people don't have tools to do that to a spline, whatever that means. So,
logarithmically.
Oh yeah, logarith.
Don't hurt yourself, Charles.
Yeah, it's like aluminum or synonym.
Like I said, don't hurt yourself, Charles.
Thank you, sir. Ugh.
All right.
Oh, wow. Look at that. That's so cool.
How's that layer?
Wow.
And then
Oh,
make a mask of that. So now, because I'm just this anal, this is like because it's guitar related stuff,
Right.
and I'm misplaying my guitars.
yeah.
So
Now, was yours the bass or the prime?
yes,
Okay. Got it.
you know, I play whatever I need to get what I need out of it. So
For a bass guitar, how much music can you do with it, especially like with a medieval aesthetic?
I mean, it's just another instrument, dude.
Okay.
Instruments are instruments.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I mean, yeah, I'm a turd about music stuff. So
Yeah. No, but the thing I'm asking, and this is coming from naivety, can the bass guitar be a lead for music with just 4
sure,
combinations of strings? Okay, I didn't know that.
go look at a musician named Michael Manring.
Michael Manring?
Michael Manring.
Okay.
Or Victor Wooten.
Victor, Whoten. Wooten. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Bassist and guitar writer. Oh, wow. That's kind of cool. A bass soloist.
Bass, not bass.
Oh, okay.
Don't be a turd, Charles.
Whoa. Oh, you even got the little like coil parts on the strings.
Yeah. And then slight drop shadow from the strings.
Yeah.
Because I'm anal. Let's merge those together.
This is called less having fun.
Yeah, I'm actually. It's really kind of me missing playing guitar.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do this for a little bit. And
Yeah. Just get nuts with the noodling. By the way, Woodium said, LOL, I came into the scene from a nerd programming side. Oh my God, maybe you can program websites for us.
Yeah. Oh, that's always a good thing, man. I've been in the nerdscape myself a long damn time.
Yeah.
All right, why is it doing that?
Oh, cool.
Boom, boom. There we go. So I am going to make the headstock on this an homage to, I think, BC Rich.
Okay.
I always wanted a guitar called the Rich Bitch.
The Rich Bitch. Oh my God, that's
from the company BC Rich, and they have a body style for a guitar it's called the Bitch.
Oh my God. You know, that could be what Freya calls her hurdy-gurdy, the rich bitch. I think that'd be funny.
There we go.
Oh, that's cool.
Because the headstock's going to kick back a little bit.
Right.
Like, I hate it when I see guitars drawn in comics and they're done wrong.
Yeah.
Hate it.
Yeah.
I mean, there could be a perfectly good book, maybe an awesome book, but if it's got guitars in it and they're not drawn right, and I see so much sloppy stuff when people try to do that, it's like, if it's in the really real world, pick a damn guitar and use the same guitar over and over.
Yeah.
You know, if it's a Les Paul, use a Les Paul. If it's a Stratocaster, use a Stratocaster. If it's a Flying V, I'm anal about that. I'm like, please, if you're going to do musicians, have the respect to do the, to treat it properly.
Yeah. like I noticed that, and this is what really got me excited about the V5 concept and working with you on it, was how accurate you got instruments. It's like, whoa, that looks really good. Oh my God, that's cool. And
well, once I'm doing the on-page artwork for this, their instruments will be 3D modeled.
That's even better.
Because I'll model them so that I don't have to like spend the amount of time that I'm doing on this. And this is actually kind of a design opportunity here to get her base worked out. But I will. I'm not drawing that over and over. Just not.
No, that's being smart. Production smart.
But I mean, it's still my drawing. It's still my art because I will sculpt it. I will build the model.
Yeah.
And then the flip side of that too is that then gives us a 3D asset that I can use for. Right. I mean, like literally, I wish they were just all playing guitars. I hate that they're playing all different instruments. That hurdy-gurdy crap. I'm just like, that's terrible. But
so
if they were all playing guitars, you could have a set, of 4 guitars or 3 guitars, a microphone, and some drumsticks.
Right.
Like a traditional band would be super cool.
Oh yeah.
And you could have that as little tchotchkes that people could get at shows.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Oh, I think that'd be really cool.
So let's hide that for a second now. And then I'm going to come in here.
So what do you like about Darkling's backstory?
Honestly, I'm not all that concerned with it.
Okay.
I mean, it's cool. It's fun. I think that the it will make for an interesting book.
Yeah.
But at the moment, especially while drawing it, my big concern is just the aesthetic.
Yeah.
It's like, how do I make this look cool?
Right. And hot.
So
I can imagine this on somebody's, like, imagine a teenager having this as a poster on their wall, just like the days of Farrah Fawcett. Instead, they have, like,
if teenagers these days weren't that lame, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't say that because there is a nice little underground out there of young metalheads.
Yeah.
Who are clamoring for things like this.
Yeah.
Because they don't have it.
We are keeping them safe for society by giving this to them. This group of teenagers will turn into better adults for society, playing music and being metal rad.
Yeah, it makes my soul hurt a little bit when you do that.
Oh.
Like, I swear people don't realize how annoying air guitar stuff is to actual guitar players.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just like, seriously, come on.
Well, I didn't do air guitar. I did voice guitar. Big difference.
Yeah. It hurts.
You know what it is? It's Bill and Ted who did it.
Oh, no, it's been a thing. Bill and Ted were making fun of the thing. The thing was already there.
Oh, okay. Oh, by the way.
But at least Bill and Ted were cool.
Right. Yeah. By the way, Rob Wilson Art says, yeah, guitars is something I rarely draw. So I have to do a lot of research and reference.
Uh-huh. So now the strings here are going to need to go like this. That's going to be a little better there.
Yeah.
Now then, what kind of a bridge am I doing on this?
Something cool. Well, you can also go sci-fi with it. So
let's come in here. Turn my grid back on.
Yes.
And
grid back on.
Like, something that I would love to be able to do with this, and this is a me thing.
Okay.
I would love to pick all the parts, design this instrument, and
you can
build one.
Oh, yeah.
Or get a a luthier or a guitar company
Yeah.
to sponsor it
Yes.
and actually like make one. Like I it would be so like it to me. It's the ultimate cosplay opportunity
Right. I was actually going to suggest that to you.
because
It says he's still a nerd programmer. Hooray.
nerd programmers for the win, man.
Yes, yes, yes. Who knows? Maybe Cosmic Grandpa will help promote our book and it'll become world famous.
Yeah, my first 3D stuff was done via code.
Yeah. Now I'm air coding.
God damn it. You're distracting me, Charles.
Okay.
My snap turned on there.
All right. They look like cables from the. Oh, could you imagine a giant robot goes to the Golden Gate Bridge and starts strumming on it like a giant guitar?
Oh, you bet your ass at some point I will have her like literally yank a string off and choke somebody with it.
Oh, that's going to be great.
Like there are things that I will have happen in these books.
Yeah.
Like when I was a teenager, there was one time where I was playing in a band and this guy kept reaching up onto the stage and like trying to grab my guitar. So I like picked it up by the bottom and my other hand on the neck and slammed the edge of it right into the guy's mouth. He's like, "Don't touch my fucking guitar, man."
Oh my gosh. By the way, Woodham is like, I spent a lot of time figuring out why there are 12 semitones.
Yep.
In an octave. It's kind of why I learned to play guitar, because it's hard to study music unless you can play something. And then Woodham continues with, also, I got really peed off at the game of Guitar Hero and thought, if I'm going to spend that much time getting good at something, I'd rather have a real guitar.
Yeah,
that.
No joke. Guitar, I was offended when Guitar Hero came out. I thought that, I was just like, seriously, has society just declined to this point that that we have this now?
You know how you could say that, like,
yeah. Guitar Hero literally made me angry. Like maybe it was a dick move of me, but I would not buy Guitar Hero for my kids.
Right.
No. I was like, you want guitars? There's a whole room full of real ones downstairs. You go play those.
Yeah.
There's that. Now then.
Then Cosmic Grandpa jumped in and said, I would love to have played guitar, but after years of lessons, my teacher said I had the hand-eye coordination for trombone. And then Woodham continues with, I've been taking a little time off, but yeah, I could fly on those old Vaxes using LSE and writing C, whatever that means.
Nice.
What does that mean, Les?
LSE I'm not familiar with, but C is a code language, or C, okay. C++, and C++.
Okay. Like
laser
system encoding.
Yeah, some of my early 3D model stuff was trying to think of what came before that. Can't remember if it was C or not, because I was working in DOS.
Right. And Bill Gates changed it all from here, where he wants to buy farms, deplete the soil so that we all get our hormones messed up and we become fatties dependent on government subsidies for medicine. Whoa. Oh, wait, Cosmic Grandpa, have you ever done anything with Midwest Gamers Classic? Because it looks like, because I've seen video game history things there. So my side job is a computer history music curator. Oh, museum curator. That's Cosmic Grandpa.
Nice.
Also, C++ was still a twinkle in the eye, no wonder. That's to wit him.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. The thing I'm really enjoying is just the heaviness of volume. You know, it's just so robust. You can hear the music just looking at it.
All right, there we go. There's the bridge.
Yeah.
So that's the saddle type tailpiece with a Tone Pros bridge.
Oh wow! And why is it at an angle?
Has to do with being able to adjust the strings to different heights and things. The bridge will go up and down. There's little saddles on the bridge that you can adjust for micro adjustments to each string.
Right.
It helps with action and intonation.
Okay.
All right. So there's the important part, the difficult part. And then let's throw a mask on here.
Oh, Woodham actually worked on the Vax Station 9000.
The what?
I don't know what the Vax Station is. Is it something to do with pandemic stuff? I'll grab a picture of the big 1170 at a museum and show it this weekend. Back then, the mini workstation hit. I'm curious about the Vax Station 9000. Vax Station 9000.
Now then. Let's see. Let's turn my perspective guide back on. Right. And then, so here's a time where I think I'm going to draw in a different color for a while, keep it from being confusing.
Right.
So let's set that to monochrome. And then I'm going to come in here and do red.
Okay.
So now when I draw it here, it's that.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So what we're going to do to get this perspective and everything looking ultra sharp. So I'm going to go in here. The neck should come in a little bit. It's called a set neck.
Okay.
And then I'm going to draw just a guide here.
It's interesting how you have red by her pelvis.
Of a box.
Oh,
mine alligator, Charles. And then we're going to go here. And then here.
Interesting.
You'll see what I'm doing here in a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's turn that off and we'll put, actually, no, I'm going to copy that because I want that particular ruler on this layer.
Okay.
And then so copy and paste. So now I've got that on there.
Right.
So I've got another set of perspective lines I need to do on here. So
okay.
Those. We got those. Now I need my ones for the depth.
Okay.
Like that.
So how many perspective would you say this drawing is?
Well, there's 3, and then I kind of faked 4 right there.
Right.
Yeah, because that was so far away, I could just fake that.
Okay.
So there we've got some thickness on this. And I'm just going to throw a bunch of lines down here for guides. Oh, those are going the wrong damn way. Okay. Who's messaging me? So this is one of those little things that something you can do with digital stuff that I really dig.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times I would take something like this and actually just do it all blue, non-photo blue in here and get a pretty, like a relatively tight drawing done and then print that and ink it traditional, but it's just easier to live stream on here with doing it digital.
Yes.
And for production purposes, when the time comes to do this book, I'm probably going to keep it mostly digital.
Right.
But let's see here. I looked at something and totally lost what I was saying.
Oh, looks like Woodham had a long distance romance with a chick engineer. He said, we had a 9,600 baud license line from my
God
company in Salt Lake City to Marlborough, Massachusetts. I've been there. And I hit it off with one of their chick engineers at a trade show, and we would chatter on it. My gosh, how hot is that? He also worked on digital, and VMS was doomed next to the Unix workstation. So
nice.
Apparently, and then came Compact Q, says Grandpa.
I seriously wish that all the software I use were available on for like either Red Hat or or Yellow Dog Linux.
Yeah, Red Hat is so cool. You notice how like different operating systems could be almost like different airplanes?
I do not understand what you're talking about.
Oh, let's compare operating system airplanes. You got DOS. DOS is a biplane. You run up onto the tarmac and pull the lever. You get the front engine going. It flies. It's pretty stable, but it's old-fashioned. It lands, and then you're done. Then you get Unix, where all these people come to the tarmac with a piece called plane. They all assemble it to make plane. They get on, they fly it, they land on their destination, they take apart plane and bring apart each part that's plane. Then you got Mac. So it's sleek, high-powered sonic engine, supersonic plane. You get on, everybody looks the same. Everyone says perfect. Everyone says don't think.
And it costs too damn much.
Right. And they're like, you don't think, just enjoy the cool. You get on the plane, the service is excellent. It's very weird. By the time you're done, you haven't learned anything, but you listened to a nice piece of music. Then you got Windows with their bulging engines, their Spitfire coming out, and they're all ready. You get onto it. The guys are all like gung-ho and cheering you on. You then go into the air, and then magically at 20,000 feet, it explodes, and everything turns blue.
Yeah, that's it's only if you don't know how to maintain a good Windows machine.
Right.
I'm not an operating system purist. I just whatever works. Here we're going to use a curve ruler to establish this. The reason I put all of those little lines in there, you'll see now I'm following that. And let's get rid of that. So now that way, because I want this curved surface to be in good perspective.
Right. That's you being very particular about your guitars.
Yeah, that's just me being particular about artwork.
Right.
Because I'm very, very anal about perspective.
Yeah. Apparently, how do we reboot an airplane mid-flight? LOL. Keep Microsoft away from my airplane. Oh, by the way, guys who are listening, do you know why what Bill Gates' wife said to Bill Gates on their wedding night?
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. Now I know why you call it Microsoft.
Ugh.
By the way, have you ever watched American Horror Story?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's okay, and sometimes it's just really dumb.
First few seasons were pretty good. First, like 4.
Yeah.
And then it just got stupid.
Right. Like I'm now watching the one where the son of the devil comes and two witch covens are fighting each other and stuff, and it just seemed painful. I feel almost embarrassed that I'm watching it.
Yeah, it gets that way.
Yeah.
All right, so there's the edge. of that. And boom. Let's go.
I'm getting great reactions to my last joke, ranging from boo to damn with a bunch of laughing faces. Oh, wow.
Bezier curves are your friend.
Yeah. That looks like a mean-ass axe, mister.
There's that.
It'd be ironic that you end up playing an axe like this on stage someday. That is cool.
Are these on? Okay, cool. So now I come right here.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go over to that. Then we're gonna give myself a couple little niggly sort of things there to follow for a second.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. You ever like watch the laser cleaning shows where they're showing a video of cleaning a laser? You know,
No.
laser cleaning metal, like.
Why would I ever watch that?
Well, I just watch it for the sound. Oh, somebody yelled out, maybe join the downstream with AutoClad. Wouldn't be so out of place after all. Whatever AutoClad is. Very Thanos-esque. Oh, yeah, the Antichrist. The ending was to that was terrible, somebody told me. And then Jim Clark worked that Evans and Sutherland, whatever that means.
Okay. Now where am I going? I'm going to hide that for the moment.
Wow.
We keep that on, so I've got a little bit of a visual. There we go.
Oh, what's kind of cool is that the edge could be only 2 molecules thick, so it just slices, and the person doesn't even feel it when they're sliced.
There's that. Here.
Huh.
Blink.
Wow.
Now then, I need.
Yeah, it's so impressive.
Let's go. All right. Go to my rulers. Let's grab a circle ruler.
Oh, that's neat.
Go right about there. And we're going to do that with it.
Yeah.
Then there.
Now, can that only move like one thing at a time, or are you able to do it as? Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay, never mind.
There's that.
You know what's really so cool when we have women come up to our tables dressed like these characters?
Stop it, Charles. You're making me feel like I'm 15 in a bad way.
Oh my god.
I remember being like 13 or 14 and was, you know, huge, goofy metalhead. Like just, you know, the Eddie Munson character on Stranger Things, that was me.
Yes.
That was me minus the weed.
That's hysterical.
And
Eddie Munson. Oh my god, that's so funny.
Munson. Yeah, Eddie Munson.
Dun, 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 dun.
then one of the things that I used to do all the time in my notebooks in school was draw. Sometimes I would do drawings of musicians I really loved.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would draw designs for guitars. Sometimes I would draw designs for stages and theatrical stage shows that I wanted to do someday.
Oh, wow.
Because I come up in the very much a fan of Alice Cooper, Kiss.
I hung out with them 2 weeks ago.
Alice Cooper, Kiss, and Wasp. I love Wasp so much. All right.
Have you ever heard of the band Nectar?
No.
Okay.
All right, there we can kill that.
It's a British psychedelia metal.
Never did the psychedelic stuff much.
Yeah.
A little too close to hippies for my taste.
Yeah. The thing I really liked about Nectar was how imagine Beatles on acid is basically what it seemed like.
Listen to the Beatles and you're imagining Beatles on acid.
So imagine Beatles on acid with metal.
Okay.
So that was Nectar. Nice axe. And Woody wants to visit Grandpa's museum. Where is it? We had a Jurassic classic in the museum, one of the silicon graphics machine used to render Jurassic Park. Wow.
Oh, nice. Yeah, one of the SGI boxes.
Oh, yeah. I actually ended up with a silicon graphics computer system that I bartered for something else. Sometimes when you barter, you can up barter. So I bartered all these little things and built up to the silicon graphic. Then I bartered that for my former wife's engagement ring. And I remember when we were out, she thought it was, because it was so large, it was like a full 2 carats. And then it had like a total of 4 more carats of baguettes, in a 18 karat gold bedding. And so she brought it. We went to a ring place. I said, yeah, have them check it out. And they looked at it. And the person in charge, the woman, looked very serious. And she said, this is a very expensive ring. This is worth about $15,000 to $18,000. And boy, was my former wife humble at the time. But that was nice doing that. Off showing it like, ah. Oh, yeah, I love bartering.
Let's see.
Dun it, 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 dun it. Oh, wow. Too bad we can't play hard music in the background.
We could, but I'd have to shoot you.
Oh. So where is your museum, Grandpa? Cosmac, Grandpa. Oh, I just get the joke now. Cosmac for Macintosh, the old ones. I used to have the original box, the black and white box, and I would always play Black Cauldron. And my favorite sound of it was a monster when it would run around. It would go, beep, 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 beep. I don't know why I like that thing so much. But the game was hard to play. It was really difficult. So if I may ask, what are you doing there? Making layers?
No, I'm putting a white fill inside specific areas.
Okay.
So that I can then come back and use a wand to select the area outside of it. Hopefully it will do. Oh no, that's not. I accidentally did not hit the wand.
Okay.
There we go. And then now delete it.
Yeah. Oh wow! Yeah.
So that way, boink.
Yep. You've now made it one pseudo layer. That's amazing.
Let's see here. Let's go here. Yes. Boink, boink, boink.
You're doing a lot of bunking. Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's a way to wake up in the morning.
All right. So now this needs a strap.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So, and I think I'm going to do. Let's go in here.
I wonder how nuts it would be if we actually had 1 million viewers live and they were trying to constantly talk to us and couldn't keep up with everything. Like on some of those.
I'd just ignore them and do what I'm doing.
Yeah. Wow. That's fun. Thank you so much, Les.
Let's do a little flare right here.
Yeah.
Little strap holder.
Ooh.
And then
I like how you could stab someone with the top of the axe, like just lunge for it. Boom, poke you.
Then pressure, that's going to be really straight. So I'm going to do that with it. There's that.
Some kind of marathon show going on over here.
Oh yeah, we're just having fun. Yeah, the axe is made out of titanium, intermixed with carbon fibers, and we decided the edge is about 2 molecules thick, so you can slice through something and they won't feel it. The only thing that would happen is like you'd see the muscles curl up.
Yeah, Charles just rambling on with this stuff while I'm sitting here drawing.
Yeah, we got to entertain the troops somehow. I can't believe you're done with the other show already.
Oh, I wasn't doing a show. I just made an appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still got other stuff to do. I'm gonna leave you guys again. You got to turn this one off. I was just coming back to see if it was still on.
Yeah. Welcome back, Pop, says Woodham.
What's up, Wood? Yeah, I still got stuff to do. I'm gonna be checking right back out again. You guys are good though. Do whatever you want. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you're gone this far, you might as well finish it live, Les. I'm just saying.
That's what I'm doing. I'm just going to finish this thing. I think this might be actually the first time I've taken something all the way to completion on here. So
yeah. I'm unfortunately going to have to get going because of commitments. So I'm going to blink out.
This is probably going to get real quiet for a while, folks. But,
hey, it's fun that way. Hey, Pop, play some background music
you know anybody, Pops, you know anybody who'd want to pop in here with me? I'd totally bring somebody else in.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me see what I can do.
Yeah, I'll stay until you bring somebody in. What about playing the girl from Constantinople in the background?
Literally make my brain hurt sometimes. All right.
By the way, I love my TurboGrafx games.
You are way more of a game player than I am.
Yes,
I never I had an Atari as a kid. I had a Nintendo. I had an N64.
Well,
and
you had a real life, sir.
But I was always more caught up in drawing or playing guitar.
Right.
So we'll see if that worked.
Did it work?
I don't know. We'll see. I sent a message out. We'll see if I get a response.
Could you imagine you get 20 people on the show, Pops?
No, the most I can have, I think, is 12.
Could you imagine if you got 12 people on the show, Pops?
I've had 10. It's. I mean, you know, if there's
Pops?
one person who's guiding the show, okay, and like, okay, ask a question and direct it at that person, and then like goes around the table and has everybody answer it. If there's one person that's good at running the show, that's okay. Otherwise, it's a clusterfuck of people talking over each other.
Okay, like a moderator. Like sometimes I'll be invited to conventions just to be a moderator.
Yeah. And,
Yeah,
and that's
like,
needed. And
yeah.
that is needed, you know.
Yeah. It's like, why do you want me moderating? Because you got a lot of personality. You know, it's kind of humbling that people invite me for that.
It's kind of the whole reason that Lori ended up with the Tuesday Morning Brew.
Really?
Yeah, we used to do the Tuesday Morning Brew, and it was an open, you know, chat, hang out, and we had 9 people in there, 10 people all the time.
Yeah.
Right? And I got tired of trying to get people to shut up and let other people talk.
Right.
Right. And it seemed like whenever Lori came on as a guest, she had control of these people. She'd be like, hey, yo, you let, you know, she like, they listened to her.
Right.
Okay. She had, you know, the female thing, right? Where everybody was shut up when she was talking. So she kind of would take control a little bit of the show.
Yeah.
And I was like, Lori, do you want this show? And she said, well, if I take this show, I'm going to do it way different. And I said, I don't give a fuck.
Good.
If you want this show, you can have this show. And she's been doing the Tuesday Morning Brew for like 120 episodes now.
Oh, that's amazing.
You know, and she is booked out months in advance.
I love that.
You can't get on her show unless you, like, if you know you have a comic coming out in July, call Lori now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Get a hold of her now. Get on her calendar for July.
How do we get a hold of her to talk about the tarot project we're doing?
It's Lori Calcaterra on Facebook.
Okay.
The Path of the Pale Rider is her project.
Can you put in a good word for us?
Excuse me?
Can you put in a good word for us? I know that might be an offensive concept.
She's part of the network. She knows who you are. I don't have to say anything. She pretty much, like, she's the one that helped me put together the slideshow with the Madness theme song for the outro.
Okay.
So she's aware of every single thumbnail of every show in the network. Everybody. Just like the lady Deepak Shakur, who is working on our website.
Yeah. Oh my God.
She's intimately familiar with everybody in the network now through their bios and everything. Speaking of which, did you guys send me bios for the website?
I should have. You should have had a bio for me a long time ago.
Yeah. If not, I'll resend it to you.
I'm just going to look at the website and see if you're there. I mean, I know you're there, but to see if
right.
Yeah, Les Garner.
Am I there?
Actually, there is no bio for you, Les. It just has a link to the show.
Huh. Well, shit.
And your contact info.
I'll send you that in a little bit.
Yeah, both of you.
Okay.
And preferably a good biopic too, because we're trying to make your pages look decent. You know.
Yeah. Trying to prove we're legitimate.
Let's see. Where's your? Let me see what your show looks like. When I pull up your show. Comic Artist Hour. Yeah, it's got your logo. It says it's going to Twitch and YouTube and all that. And yeah, you know, a lot of more stuff to add to it. We gotta get your biopic and your bio up on it. Yeah.
Yes. All right, guys, gotta run.
Later.
Right.
Okay, bye.
I'm almost done with this.
Oh, I know. I was hoping to wait till the end.
What are you done with
it? Let's see. Tails I need there. Nope. That's great. So shoot.
Yeah, Woody. I think he's gonna do a stream. He's gonna start doing a show maybe. about that stuff that he does, all that music. He talks about stuff, computer stuff I don't know nothing about, and I thought I knew a lot. Yeah.
Let's see.
My problem is that I went to school for like data processing back in the early 90s, right before Windows, when they were still teaching how to use DOS and Quick Basic and DBase and you know what I mean, all these like flat programs for computer, right?
Yep.
And while I was in school, they released Windows, which pretty much made 90% of that shit I just learned obsolete.
Yeah.
You could still go to the command line back then and do stuff on your computer, which made it cool if
Still
you
do
knew
now.
DOS, right? But then eventually Windows just kept locking you out of more and more and more control of your computer.
Oh, you can still get to it.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what I'm saying. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
They made it much harder to navigate than just the way it used to be. And they made, it's like every issue of Windows took away more of your control and gave it to them.
Yeah.
Like I quit messing with it. Just like, fuck it.
All right.
What's up, Sheriff Hector? I see people popping in saying, hey, over on the pill. What's going on? My boy Les drawing. Who is this, Les? Who?
This is Darkling, a character from the Big Boob Battle Bard Babes.
Okay, so we got Darkwing with Gene Simmons action.
Darkling, like a child of Darkling.
Oh,
Ling
dang!
Ling.
I thought it was a duck, man.
No. Darkling. All right. I think I can collapse that down.
I'm just trying to fill in for Charles, right?
Oh Lord.
That's why I'm here, right?
Yep. He is Captain Chuckfuck. That's what I call him. I lovingly refer to Charles as Captain Chuckfuck.
I get to tell the dumb jokes now. It's my turn.
Would seem that way. I love Charles to death, and he comes and stays at our house pretty often. Like he's out here quite a bit, and my wife, she loves him to death, but she's like, oh God, there's Charles. Okay, she has to like mentally prepare for time with Charles.
Yeah. I'm sure she does. And look, I have to mentally prepare for being online half the time.
Right. Hoo-ah! Man. Alright, now then. Gonna do something a little tricksy here. This is a neat little trick. Draw a selection area and then come in with the paint bucket tool and fill areas inside the selection. And so what I wanted was something that basically used it to make a shadow of her hand against that.
Oh, dang. Somebody on Facebook got mad at something I said.
Imagine that.
Dang it. Oh, well.
Yeah. Like, oh no, what will I do?
I know. Am I going to be able to recover from this?
It's damn funny.
It's a rough life. It's a rough life running a camp, running a network like this.
Go like
It's like
Better.
I don't tell people what their shows are about or who their guests are or nothing.
Oh yeah.
Which means I'm pretty much like as long as you ain't fucking dissing me, we're okay, right? Can I tell you, man? Respect goes both ways, and it doesn't have. Wait, let me just. I'll just tell you what made some. I posted a little something, and it says, "America is not divided by race, color, gender,
Oh Lord,
or sexual orientation. America is divided into wise people and fools. Fools divide themselves by race, color, gender, or sexual
let's see.
orientation." Oops.
Yeah, some people can't handle hearing that kind of stuff.
Hey, man, I don't like that kind of shit. Look, I was born in the live and let live generation.
Yeah, it's called the 90s.
As long as you ain't pissing over my fence, I don't care what you're doing over there. I mean, we basically minded our own business.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that doesn't go to the extreme of certain crime and whatnot. Hell yeah, I'm gonna kick your fence down. Okay, don't get it twisted.
My attitude about most things is as long as you're not hurting children or making me pay for what you're doing, I'm good.
There you go. See, you just covered it all right there. I don't care if you're growing weed over there and
pretty simple.
Yeah. I mean, it's like whatever, right? I don't care who you drag through your bedroom, not my business. As long as, like he said, they ain't little kids and whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not my business. Don't care. You do whatever you do to make yourself happy. It doesn't mean I want to be part of it. I'll drag y'all through my bedroom. I'll post pictures of every female that I hang out with to prove my straightism or whatever. It's like, who fucking cares?
Yeah. I think a lot of stuff like that is, there's always going to be people who are, looking to grandstand and virtue signal stuff. And then there's, but I think a lot of people are starting to come down from it.
Oh, I never went up on it. That's what I mean. It's like, I was just like, I understand your angst for whatever, but I don't understand the aggression. And, it's like you can't be tolerant on one hand and aggressive fascist on the other. It's like,
oh yeah.
Damn, man.
There we go.
I ain't never told somebody that they couldn't bring a show to my network because of where they stand on the political scale.
Oh yeah.
Not once, right?
That's one of the reasons I hang with you, man. It's because I know y'all are cool people.
But I have had people that won't bring their show to my network because there's people on one side or the other of the fence running a show on my network. It's like,
yep,
yeah, exactly. There's
people
people
can't be associated with the platforming of blah blah blah. It's like, dude,
yeah.
If that's, it's like, it's your loss.
I mean, I have people that stand on both sides of the fence doing shows on the network. The trick is they don't stand so far away from the fence that they're offensive to everybody else.
Yep.
I guess the super far extremes on either side are crazy.
Yep.
I think my analogy is like two dogs. There's a 6-foot fence and there's two dogs in the yards of the adjoining backyards, right? There's a fence in between these two dogs. And if you go in those backyards and you go walk over by that fence, there won't be no grass. There will be bear, right? From them dogs running up and down that fence, barking at each other.
Oh yeah.
No shit there, just bare ground. But the farther you get away from that fence, the more chances you might step in a pile of shit.
That's funny.
Stay close to the fence, Senpai.
Pretty much.
Don't be stepping in
Pretty much.
Don't be stepping in other people's shit. Keep it simple.
Let's see here now. All right. I'm saving the head for last just because I don't know, just because it seems it's arguably the most important part of a piece of work like this. So there we go. There's that. There's that. All right. Now then, let's do a little bit of this. I'm going to grab a big area here. We're going to drop a advanced fill on that so that everything that was empty gets turned white. And then I'm going to grab these areas right here. And let's see.
Boy, I'm all over the place. I got way too many tabs. Way too many tabs up.
There we go. And let's finish out the cape, which is nice and easy. And I'm going to do the cape and the other collar of her from her stuff here. It's going to go out here. She really does have a lot of Gene Simmons influence in the character design. And I'm okay with that. I'm very happy with that. I'm a big Kiss nut. Always have been. Don't care what anybody says about them. You know, it's kind of like there's a lot of things that I like that people are like, oh, that's terrible because blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's the. I'm just like, don't care. Don't care. You know, oh, so-and-so does this and it's terrible. Yeah, don't care. You know, it's like I like what I like and that's that. So.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I'm an Ace Frehley and a Peter Criss fan.
I love Ace and Peter, and I love Gene and Paul. I mean, like
I can love somebody's work and not care for them.
One of the things that I like about Gene and Paul as people, and this is what won me over. Why it would take a lot to make me turn on them is one of my best friends growing up had spina bifida and he spent his entire life in a wheelchair. Huge Kiss fan. He, as a little kid, his older sister would take him to Kiss shows. And that was like a big family fun thing for him. And, he went to so many Kiss shows growing up. Some of them, sometimes Kiss would play in one town. He'd be there. Of course, back then the wheelchair rows most of the time were right up next to the stage. I think still are. And he would be there for that show, and then be at the next town the next day. Sometimes they would look down, and he'd be the only wheelchair person in the audience for like 3 or 4 shows running. Well. Eventually, I think sometime after high school, he was following them and did that. I think he didn't get to do that as much when we were real young, but after high school, there's a couple of years where he just straight followed them like the Grateful Dead for a while. One night, Kiss's manager, Bill Coyne, comes out and says, "Didn't I see you here?" And starts naming the places, and Jeff's like, "Yeah." And he's like, and I know, you know, he knew who he was. And Bill's like, I tell you what, you come on back. And takes him backstage to, I think, Paul Stanley's dressing room. And my understanding of it is that he got to hang out back there with Paul and Gene as they were finishing getting ready during the openers, and was given a phone number or something by Bill Coyne. And it's like, kid, if we're wherever we're going to be, you call that number, we've got you. And I don't think he's paid for a KISS ticket in like 30 years.
That's cool.
Yeah. I know the stories. I know there's plenty of stuff, especially about Gene, that people are like, oh, he's blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, yeah.
We've seen him a lot when I was young. We actually went to Tower Records in Minneapolis. Some friends of mine that still follow me on Facebook, actually, John Swedberg, Larry Cable. We had this huge PVC steamroller. And we took it to Tower Records and had all 4 of them sign it.
Nice.
It was amazing, dude. And then like 30 years later, I'm at a show, a Chris Katz show at the Roxy, right, in Phoenix. And the Roxy had these raised tables, right? They were on little platforms so you could be above the dance floor and see the stage. So me and my boy Mark, we grabbed one of these tables. We're there early because I worked at Z-Rock and got backstage passes and shit, right? So we're there early. We grabbed this great table for the show, and we're sitting there, and these 4 dudes come walking up the on our table stand and stood between us and the stage on the railing. And they're standing there talking, like we're sitting at the table, and Mark looks at me and he's like, I hope these guys don't plan on standing there the whole show. And Peter Criss turns around and says, no, we're just checking out the stage. And it's like, fuck, it was this band, dude. It was this whole band standing right there, like right there at our table, basically. So they signed a bunch of shit for us and gave us like signed CDs, and it was cool as hell, man.
I've always heard good things about Pete. I've always heard that Peter was super cool.
Yeah, well, Ace was the same way. Dude, Ace gave me a necklace that he was wearing, took it off and gave it to me. It was a lightning bolt necklace. It was fucking
that's cool.
Yeah, I gave it to my son and he loves it.
I saw last time I saw Ace was in 2022. He was opening for Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
And that was awesome.
He's cool. You getting that audio hooked up there, Levi?
No, can you hear me?
Okay.
Oh, hey man.
Okay.
Hey, what's going on, Les?
Mr. Levi, what's up, dude?
Hey.
He's gonna hang out with you while I go get some shit done real quick.
Cool.
Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you, Levi. I'll be back. Or if you're still here, I'll be back. If you're not, good to see you, Les. Don't expect you to do a show on Christmas Day.
Oh, is Christmas Day a Wednesday?
Yeah, but
oh shit. Yeah. If I can, I'll try to record something before then, but I ain't making any promises.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say if you can, that'd be cool. If not, I'll just pick a replay. I'll play something.
Yeah.
And New Year's Day will also be the next week.
That's crazy.
So you'll have to come out here hungover on New Year's Day.
Oh, I won't be hungover. I haven't been doing that kind of drinking since I had the stroke. So
okay.
I'm saving up to have a couple of drinks at night because I'm allowed 1-2 fingers of bourbon a month. So that'll be my New Year's drink.
Sounds like Gabba Patton. Is that one of your daily pills you have to take? Is the Gabba Patton?
No, it's I don't know which one was related to the alcohol, but they got me on simvastatin, clopidogrel. Shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here before I start cussing. All right,
later, pops.
I'll be back.
5 of them.
Yeah,
it's aggravating.
Yeah, let's just say that Gabba Pitton that sounds like you can't drink any alcohol with it. I'm like, that sounds like the Gabba Pitton. They told me I couldn't do anything else besides 2 aspirin on top of it. I shouldn't drink, and I shouldn't do any illicit hardcore drugs with it. So, yeah.
Isn't it funny how they just assume that everybody's on drugs?
So 44 years old. How old were you when you had yours?
When I had my stroke, I was 48.
48. So they're like, okay, Mr. Skeen, you smoke about a pack a day. You don't do any illegal substances. So they automatically go, okay, it's cryptid because you don't. That's the first thing that, they had to ask you, right? Like, what kind of drugs you've been doing,
Oh yeah. They ask, and I'm like, dude, I'm like damn near a straight edge gym rat.
Right.
Like, it's goofy just how anal I've always been about stuff like that.
Yeah. And with me, they're like, okay, so the next question is like, have you had a chiropractic adjustment in the last week? I'm like, yeah, yesterday. And they're like, that's it.
Huh.
Yeah, but the gabapentin, I got off of that. My strokes were 7 years ago. It was 2017. So I finally got tired of the gabapentin probably like it'll be 2 years of this fall, and because it took me a while to get up to the 1,800 milligrams that they were wanting to prescribe, and then it took me a while to come down off of it again. So
yeah, I'm not real happy with my doctor at this point because I feel like there's stuff I ought to be able to start coming off of.
Yes. Yeah.
And I don't think they want to get me off of anything.
I don't think so either.
And that really irritates me. So
yeah, and there's been other things that have worked better. Like part of my neuropathy on my left side is it's just balled up my hamstring to the point where it's like a solid rock. So that jerks on your hip muscles all the way down to your toes. So everything's out.
God, I know that feeling, man.
Right. So they recommended, and my insurance wouldn't cover it, sugar shots.
Sugar shots.
So they go in and they shoot sugar water with the needle all over the aggravated muscle, and it feels like you've had leg day, like you're at the gym. That second day burn you get from your.
Yep.
So it feels like you had a really hard leg day on that particular muscle, but it aggravates the body and tricks it into sending and creating collagen down there to soften up the tissue.
Huh.
And it fucking worked.
Huh.
Right? And I was going in for my second.
What was this again? Because I'm sorry. I'm like
a sugar shot, sugar water. Literally, like it almost sounds like a fucking placebo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, so like a big thing for me is like I have spasticity still in my hamstring. But I've worked it out quite a bit. I'm getting to where I can start to throw some kind of low kicks. They're not much above the knee, but I can throw a kick. But the worst spasticity that I have is in this bicep. This damn bicep is just a bastard.
Right.
And like
I would ask about the sugar shot.
I've been a gym rat my whole adult life, pretty much. Gym rat and martial arts, and like I'm, not to brag, I'm stupid ass strong.
Mm-hmm.
So I've built those muscles to where they are stout. Before my stroke, I could rep out 270-pound bench press and max out 310.
Right.
And so the downside of that is I built the hell out of those muscles. So then when they decided to go ultra spastic, they had all of that power built in them to go spastic with.
Yep.
And that bicep 2 years in now is not wanting to release. And I mean, like everything I've managed to do with that arm, I've gotten a lot back, but it's all in spite of the bicep. Like it's literally cranking and tugging on that thing all the time. And so there's the bicep and my fingers. It's like if I could get that bicep to release, my tricep could really kick in and my arm would be that much more useful. I mean, I've gotten it pretty useful as it is in spite of the spasticity, but my fingers are there's the grip on my fingers. All of those flexor muscles under there are still just constantly like that.
Because it's all that hip bones. This is all connected, and that thing right in the middle, and it just jerks on both ends of it. And you're just really surprised on how far your system goes. You're like, it's just the bicep, but no, it's going to go all the way clear down to your fingers. And it sounds exactly like my hamstring. I would. So you have a what is it called? A physiatrist, your pain doctor?
No.
Yeah. No.
Nah, I'm on Medicaid from all the shit. I ain't got crap, man.
Yeah, me as well. Me as well. It's just they separated out my doctors. I have, the brain doctor. I got the pain doctor. I got my sleep doctor. I got my it's just my pain doctor, the physiatrist. That's what he recommended was the sugar shots. And they go in with an ultrasound just so they can see where they're hitting on the he was actually showing off to the nurse on one of them. He's like, yeah, here's this trick I learned on YouTube. And he kind of bent the needle a little bit. He's like, see, I can squirt it that way now. And
oh my God, that's one of the worst parts of this. Well, not one of the worst. It's a very aggravating part of all this is I was always always had kind of a phobia about needles.
Right.
So now it's like, well, got to get used to them.
Yeah.
And that sucks. Sucks a lot.
Yeah, I'm always nervous when I get shot up on my left side on how my body's actually going to react to the sensation that it thinks it's feeling. Now,
did you lose all sensation?
I'm running at about 70% on my left side, so it took more of my brain battery than it did my physical. So I got super lucky that way.
I didn't have any numbness ever.
Really?
Yeah, none, not an ounce. That blew their minds. They're like, why? We don't understand.
Yeah.
They're like, you should be numb.
So,
and and this is all just conjecture, but when I realized I was having a stroke, as they were putting me in the hospital, I would reach over and slap the hell out of my arm and my leg. And I reach down and pinch on them and do all kinds of stuff.
Right.
Because I was like, my theory was that if the connection's getting broken between that and my brain, the stronger a signal I can send upstream from the nerves, the more likelihood, I mean, it's just my theory, the more likelihood there would be that my brain could hold on to that neural pathway.
Yep.
Yeah. It seemed to work. My neurologist was really fascinated with that.
Yeah, I wish I would have thought of that.
That was just a thing that, it was it's kind of inspired by a bunch of martial arts stuff, because I'm a big karate nerd.
Right.
So
I was stupid. I had the stroke at night. I went, nah, it ain't that, and I went to bed.
Oh, I was dumber than you. I had the stroke in the middle of the day, and thought that I was having a Bell's palsy flare up. I was like, oh, I'll just go take a nap. Woke up 4 hours later in the middle of the second stroke.
Yeah. Yep. And I crawled in the shower the next morning. So I crawled out of bed and I went to the mirror and everything is set in. So half my face is drooping. And I go, oh, I'm fucked up. And so I'm like, okay, I better go to the doctor. So I go to jump in the shower. And the very first thing I noticed, because my downstairs shower next to my room is the shower is small, but it's all tiled on the inside of it. So you tend to touch the sides of it. And the minute my left side touched that cold ass tile on one side, it felt like an electrical shock running through my body. So I got extreme sensitivity now to the cold on that side. Like it just does not like it.
Cold makes me angry now. I used to like the cold.
Right.
Like, and, you know, I like the cold a whole lot better than the heat. But now, when it's cold, it makes everything want to seize up. It's incredibly aggravating.
Yeah.
Hey, folks, this is the part of the show where it turns into the old guys talking about the strokes they've had stream.
Yeah. And how you can be living just a normal life and still get fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. You know, it's not a good time. Not a good time at all. And I'm still fighting the fight, man. You do a lot of PT?
No, I don't. So the PT I did for because mine blew out my vestibular, it was all the balance issue stuff. So they had me do the whole trying, balance on a ball, and I was doing the head exercises where you lay flat and they try and reset the crystals in your ear, and then I was during PT, the guy had me doing word searches, and because of the way the vestibular works, I was still at that point in time, it was still TBI was the diagnosis, right? Traumatic brain injury. And he had me doing word searches, and vestibular is part of it is pattern recognition. And so I was searching for those patterns with a broken pattern recognition system in my brain, and it caused my brain to swell. And
Weird.
I had dude, so half my body, when my brain got tired and swelled, only half my left side would sweat. My right side would be completely dry, but I would be completely wet on my left side, especially my hair and stuff.
Man.
And that's when my wife would take the book away from me, because I was, like, no, I'm going to get better. I need to work at this. And then finally, because I caused my brain to swell, it had all my other symptoms kick into high gear for the broken vestibular. And I ended up back in the emergency room, and the doctor's like, what are your symptoms? And once I explain it, he goes, you broke your vestibular. He's like, that's your diagnosis now, broken vestibular. So, and since it doesn't grow back, it can't be fixed. Physical therapy is kind of, you just learn your coping mechanisms and then just roll with it and live.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened to me was was two clots in a blood vessel that went pretty much straight into my motor core.
Mm-hmm. So
And
you had this cerebellum strokes as well?
No.
Okay.
It damaged a little section of my motor core of the right side that controls the left. Damaged the right side motor core. And I mean that's it. My face, I could feel like I still have this tiny touch of numbness in the left side of my face, but it never drooped. It never drooped. And actually the left side of my tongue is the only place that I ever, left side of my tongue and about a 2-inch spot right here is the only place that ever got any numbness. The arm and leg never went numb. And, it's, I'm thankful for that, because I'm like, if I can't feel it, how do I get it back? That sort of thing.
Right.
So, I have worked, I mean, almost every day for the last 2 years for anywhere from 1 to 4 hours a day, busted my ass to try and get everything working again.
You've shown improvement too, haven't you? Through that.
Oh yeah. Well, they told me I'd never walk again and I'd never use that arm again.
Yeah.
Like they're like, yeah, that's done. They're like, people don't come back from what happened to you. And I was like, bullshit.
Right. I've seen.
Like, don't accept it.
So I've had a lot of blue collar jobs, and one of the jobs that I had was nursing assistant. I went in the nursing field for about 2 years, and I did the nursing homes, and I did after it broke my soul, I went and did in-home care because I figured I could take better care of people that way. And my last client was a full stroke on the left side, and just to see him, another soul crushing moment was like him deciding to not do physical therapy anymore.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah, you're just kind of like, no, dude, don't give up, man. Like, he was like, no, I'm in my 60s, I'm blankety blank. And you're like, no, dude, seriously, you need to do.
Yeah, that attitude is just, it's like that. If that's what you do, that's what you're going to get.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but again, for me, it was I'm martial arts nut. So I mean, almost everything that I've done that's actually been effective has all been modified versions of drills from karate.
Nice.
Yeah, that's been a massive thing. If I hadn't had the stroke when I did this past year, I would have been up for my fourth degree Shotogan black belt.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so like when I say martial arts nut, I'm like, no. This is not like a movie person, that movie watcher kind of thing. This is like real deal, serious. I love the stuff.
So ours started off with white, yellow, orange. I never made it past orange. This is clear back to junior high. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, third degree black belt in Shotokan, second degree black belt in Kabuto.
Nice.
So Okinawan weapons.
Very cool.
Yeah. And my neurologist was looking at some of the books and things, because when I was in inpatient therapy for a month. And
so you were hospitalized for a whole month?
I was hospitalized for 6 weeks.
Okay.
And the PT that I had, because I kept talking about karate stuff. I was like, I can't be stuck like this. I've got a belt to go get. I'm up for another rank. And we talk. When you're doing therapy, you end up talking. You end up getting to know each other a little bit. And within about a week, she's like, okay. Like, she kept giving me things to do, and I'd be like, oh, that's just like this. Oh, that's just like this. And so much of it related to my experience with karate. And she's like, do you have any books you could share with me on that? She's like, because you've been doing this stuff for 20 plus years. Your body knows these things. If I can look at something like that, then maybe we can help, customize some things based on that and really, really speed it up. Really, really get somewhere. So I had my wife bring Karate Do Kyohan, the master text from Gichin Funakoshi. Had her bring that in, and they read it and started adapting a lot of my physical therapy from it. And I'm telling you, man, that was beautiful. Just beautiful.
That's very similar to me as well, where it was I was on a those points where you're depressed and you're on a pity party situation, and you start listing off all the things that so when I was young, I'm the youngest of 6, and my mom and my dad got together. I'm the only kid between them. So my mom raised my dad's other son and realized what a klutz he was. So at a real young age, she's like, okay, well, if I'm a big guy's kid, she threw me in tap dancing, tumbling, gymnastics, karate, judo, just all that stuff that did, balance and coordination and all that stuff. So I'm on a pity party, and I'm listing off all this crap that I can't do anymore. Like, I can't run, I can't ride a bike, I can't roller skate, I can't. And my wife was just like, if you hadn't built up all that muscle memory, from doing all that shit, like, you would be way worse than you are now. And it just kind of clicked for me. Like, yeah, I guess I hadn't looked at it that way.
My neurologist said multiple times to me, he said, karate saved your life, because the kind of physical workouts that I'm used to are insane. I mean, I would do my crunches in blocks of 50.
Damn.
And I was doing 300 push-ups a day. Sometimes with class, I had people I was trying to teach how to do wall push-ups. I would do, bust out 20 or 30 wall push-ups. I mean, it was serious. It was very serious. Yeah, there was like the physical activity and the training and all that kind of stuff was nuts. And I'm glad I did it, because, the doc said, he's like, you've literally, you saved your life with conditioning and all that kind of stuff. He's like, normally the stroke you had kills people.
Yeah.
He's like, you should not be here. He's like, and you definitely should not be getting better, but here you are. And I'm like, well,
yep,
that's okay. Let's have some more of that.
Yeah. And it kind of goes to the whole thing of you were prepared for this moment.
Yep.
Not that you were supposed to have strokes, but you were prepared for this moment.
I had the weirdest dream the first night in the hospital, when I had this dream that I was in the dream. I woke up in my hospital bed, and I looked across the room, and my father was sitting there, and he'd been dead since I was 17. And in the dream, I just sat there in his presence, just taking in being with my dad.
Right.
And then at one point, I finally broke the silence and said, "Dad, why? Why me?" And he looks at me and says, "Because you can."
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
And he says in the dream, my dad says to me, "You'll make it through this, son." And I'm like, "How do you know?" He says, "Because I made you."
Hell yeah, man. That's fucking awesome.
I will never forget that dream.
Yeah.
So yeah. When the days are getting kind of hard, and they do, and I get frustrated and all that stuff, I always try to remember, it's like, you can do this. Your dad said you could.
Yeah. Well, I seen you walking around last week, and you looked good.
Thanks,
did,
man.
And so I need to know, how do you feel when you just said thanks, man, but how do you feel when somebody says that to you? Like, man, you've had strokes. Like, you look really good.
I mean, I take it. It doesn't. I can't take it as a negative, because I know people mean and go by it.
Right.
So, it's just like, I think one of the hardest parts of all this for me is knowing that most of the people who see me, that might be the only moment they ever see me.
Right.
And most of the people who see me, like, from this moment forward, that's all they know of me. They don't know what I was before the stroke. And it's, I've always despised it when guys would be like, "I remember back when I was in high school," and blah, blah, blah. And they go on about their glory days. I hate that. I hate it when people do it. And there's a big piece of me that's like, really don't like talking about it sometimes, because I feel like it puts me in a position where I'm starting to reach back to glory days. and I hate that shit. I'd rather move forward.
Right.
It's just that crap's really aggravating. But people mean well, so it is what it is.
Yeah. It seems like it's usually the general response sometimes when I meet somebody new and they finally realize, or I have to come out and say, hey, I'm struggling right now to find the right word because I've had strokes, and they just kind of look at me and go, wow, you don't look like you've had strokes.
Yeah.
So
there's lots of people, they assume one thing or the other, and they don't they don't realize. There's just so much people don't realize about it,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just really how it goes. I think interestingly, one of the things that prepared me in a way for dealing with stuff was, like I said, my dad died when I was 17, and I spent the last 3 years of his life being one of his main caregivers.
Dude.
And
go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, man.
Dude, we've had a similar path in life. My mom died when I was 2 weeks before my 19th birthday. She battled cancer for 10 years. As an 8-year-old, to have the reason I went into nursing is because I had in-home care nurses tell me all the time, you take such good care of your mom, you should become a nurse. And I never did it right away, but it was always in the back of my mind. It's like, that's why I tried it. And you go into that field and you realize, I can't take care of these people like they're my mom. They treat them like they're an assembly line. So yeah, it's like, similar paths here. It sucks.
Yeah. Folks don't really realize. I had taken care of my dad quite a bit. And then, later on, I was adopted. So it was later on in life that I, stepped in and was doing a lot to take care of my biological mother. And I don't know, something about that stuff and seeing people and, just the experience of it really, I think it prepared me in a way for what I was going to go through, and it really prepared me to not accept no for an answer.
Yeah. To not give up, to fight.
Yeah.
It along that same tone, it really formed my opinion on people choosing not to fight anymore.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, I have pissed off so many other stroke survivors. Like straight up, like in different stroke related groups and stuff, just pissed people off big time. Because I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you not trying to get better?
Yeah.
It's like you've got hope. The fact that you're sitting here talking online means that you're not done. So why aren't you giving it hell?
Yep. Yeah. I can't sit there. My mom kept her hair up until, so she got breast cancer. Then it was cancer of the spine. And then we did, it was a colostomy bag after that because she had blockage of the colon with cancer. Ooh. And then the final thing that did her was a golf ball sized tumor in the brain.
Oof.
And she lost that one. She lost her hair overnight. They hit her so hard, and she kept her hair for probably 8 years out of 10.
Man.
So, yeah, it's just to see her, and she kept, and the entire time I'm like, she's a single mom. We're on welfare by then, and just to see her whole line was, I got to get you through high school. I got to get you through high school.
Let's see, my dad used to say all the time, I'm going to see you graduate. He's like, I can go after that, but I've got to see you graduate. And he didn't make it.
That's too bad, man.
He died December 22nd, right? December 22nd, the Christmas before I graduated.
Damn.
Yeah, he was he was 5 months away. And where I grew up, there's kind of this tradition of burial where, you know, it's 3 days. Three days is when you put him in the ground.
Yeah.
And he died on December 22nd. So that means every year, Christmas Day is the day that we put him in the ground.
Right. Fucking damn. I don't know how you are, but every August, and I don't know the date, I refuse to memorize it. I have a really shitty day, and that's the day. You know, you like tell your wife like I had a shitty day today, and she's like, "Well, you do know today's the anniversary of your mom passed away." You know, you're just kind of like, damn it.
Yep.
Yeah.
December 22nd comes. My internal clock knows that day.
Yeah.
It's fucking terrible. But, you know,
it made us who we are. It made us into I ain't gonna give up. I gotta fight. You know. So
this shit I'm doing right now irritates me because part of what the stroke hit was my the emotion center.
Right.
And so I will tear up over shit real easy, and I hate that. It's fucking annoying.
Oh, I'm in the same boat, dude. I'm a big old crybaby now.
It makes me so mad I can't stand it.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, it's bad enough that I have to go through this shit, but did it have to make me a big fucking pussy too?
It did. It fucking did.
It's
just all the weird chemicals that your brain produces, and they got to send them somewhere, and your brain's all fucking broken and shit, and they're just, yeah, it's fucking sucks. Oh well, but I'm the same freaking way, big old crybaby now. Because fight or flight works on, you know, vestibular, fight or flight, and I got no middle anymore, and I was always the type to run towards something, so. My body just kind of goes, okay, you're not going to go fight somebody right now, but you sure can't cry like a baby. Yeah.
I don't think mine has learned that I can't fight.
Oh.
So, like, my anger response is stupid these days. I probably shouldn't say that in public because it's going to end up getting me in court somewhere someday. But, but yeah, it's freaking awful, man.
Yeah. I've made the joke where it's like I've got one left in me, and as I'm beating the guy into the ground, I'm probably going to be crying while I do it. You know.
I could see that.
Yeah.
But, you know, at least I still got this stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
we were left the skills that we were actually meant to be using.
I wish I felt that way. Because I was these 2 years dealing with this is the longest period in my life I've gone without playing a guitar since I was 6 years old.
Yeah, that would. I still have my bike out in the shed.
Man. And I like, I don't know if you see him in the stream right now, but there's my guitars and stuff behind me. I refuse to part with them because every day I walk into the shop, on the way in, I look at them and I tell them, I'm coming for you.
Right. They're beautiful guitars, man.
It's my babies. Yep. 3 of them Schecter 7 strings.
Nice.
Yep.
Hey, so switching it up here, man. Kiss. I've seen those guys 3 times. I've seen them on the okay, so first time the album had the pyramid on it. I can't recall which one.
Oh, Hot in the Shade.
Hot in the Shade, yes. It had I had two big
Oh,
releases.
dude, if you got to see him on that tour, I'm so jealous because
they came. Go ahead, man.
I had tickets to see them, and it was going to be the first time I'd get to see them.
Right.
And my ticket was for the show that was the day Eric Carr died.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. I wish I still had that damn ticket.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Yeah, it was just, God, that was crushing.
They came. So, all right. So I got to see one. Yeah. Because he had a song on that album, too, if I remember right. Because he did a, not a drum solo, but like Peter Criss would do. He would do his song, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah. Eric always did a really kick-ass drum solo.
Yeah.
I mean, Eric Carr was honestly way better a drummer than Kiss ever needed.
Right.
Like by a lot. So yeah, that was one of those things that was just super sad. You know, God, man, I was so bent. You know, he died the same day as Freddie Mercury.
Did he?
Yep, same day. And
no wonder he got
not to take anything away from Freddie, but that's
right.
why Eric Carr didn't get as much recognition.
That's you're literally what I was going to say. Yeah, that's got to be why.
And oh my God, have you ever seen the letter? You can find it. There's pictures of it. You can find the letter that Paul Stanley wrote to Rolling Stone for them not covering Eric Carr's death.
Oh, I'm taking a note.
Oh, dude.
Paul Stanley. Rolling Stone was
scathing, man. I mean, it was.
I gotta read that.
He went off.
Paul Stanley Rolling Stone letter.
But Rolling Stone was always shitty to Kiss. So
they were. The only time I read Rolling Stone is when I was one year I didn't have my girlfriend in my lunch period, and I would go to the library just to read. You know, I'd end up reading the newspaper and the Rolling Stones. But otherwise, it was like you were saying, Hit Parader, Rip magazine was a good one, and
I had a friend who got a subscription, I think, to Kerrang out of Germany, and that was awesome.
Yeah, ours is pretty much whatever the local gas station would carry for us, which is usually Rip, Hit Parader, and the third one, the first one you mentioned.
There was a Middle Edge was a thing for a long time.
But they on that tour they came right out of that pyramid. The bottom of the pyramid opened up and shot lights up, and they came walking up the steps. Fuck yeah! And Gene still did the whole God of Thunder thing. And
yep, I've seen them now. First time I saw Kiss was actually on their first farewell tour. It was like the reunion tour.
Yeah.
And first show that my son ever went to, first concert my son ever went to was 4, and I took him to see Kiss, and he got to see one of the last shows with all 4 original members.
Nice.
So that's one of those that I've heard my son like bragging to people about shows. Like his friends would be like, "No," he's like, "Yeah, I saw Kiss with all original members," and then I took him to see when Ronnie James Dio and Tony Iommi got the Heaven and Hell lineup of Sabbath together.
Yes.
And Ozzy was being a shit and wouldn't let them use the name Sabbath, and they went out on the road calling themselves Heaven and Hell. My son was, I think he was probably 13 or 14 at the time for that, and that was a big one. And then he got to see that. He got to see Motorhead. I think a year or two before Lemmy died.
Right.
And fun fact, I don't know if you can see it over there. I should bring up the window over here so I can actually see what my stuff's pointed at. So if I turn this, see that white guitar right there hanging up?
Yep.
See the strap on that?
Barely, but yeah.
There's a strap on that has all these little spots in it to put 5.56 ammo.
Nice.
And that strap was made for me by the same guy who made straps for Lemmy.
That's fucking cool.
That was back when we were still cool with each other. That was a gift my ex-wife gave me one Christmas. She I don't know how she tracked this guy down, but she did. He's in Australia. And the reason it never got ammo put in it is because I don't shoot 5.56, and the dude was not allowed to even send dummy ammo in it from Australia.
Right.
So, yeah, but that's my Lemmy strap. So my son got to see Motorhead before Lemmy died. Actually, on the same day, it was a Mayhem festival. He saw Motorhead, and then right after Motorhead was all original lineup Slayer.
Dude.
So yeah, my boy got some metal culture. Just
right.
I think he saw Danzig with me like multiple times. I remember he was 9 years old, and it was at a Danzig show. He was 9, and I had him riding on my neck, straddling my neck.
Right.
And I just walk out into the pit with him at this Danzig show. It was just great, man. I used to love having him with me for shows because it was people who aren't into metal or the metal scene don't understand what the culture actually is. And it's like you could put a kid on your back, on your shoulder, and walk out into the pit in a metal show, and everybody will move. They will get out of the way. They're like, yeah, let the little man through. They'll be high-fiving the little guy and all this stuff, man. It's just a different world. And it cracks me up when the people outside of that run their mouths and don't understand, because it's like you don't get it.
Yeah. I didn't.
In 2012, I think it was 2012, I got meet and greet tickets for Black Label Society.
Oh, dude.
Like Zach is a guy I used to play music with in Connecticut a long time ago. Actually played in the side band of Zach's bass player, and it's weird for me sometimes. Like I have multiple friends who are actual friends of Zach. Like there was what was that video? There was a video of Zach's. A song called "In My Dying Time."
Okay.
And the video to that, there's a character in the video that's this guy who's basically the devil, and that actor comes back in another video that's a big funny comedic video with them that's like at a kid's birthday party, and that actor is a friend of mine.
Okay.
And so it's like there's like all these degrees of separation. But 2012, I think it was 2008. At the meet and greet, I had my son with me, and Zach literally got down in the floor and wrestled with my son for half a fucking hour.
Damn.
Comes up, his management started to bitch at him because he was holding up a line of about 300 people just to play with my kid. And he comes up and gives me this big bear hug, and he had tears in his eyes. Says to me, I love what I do, but if you're here, I bet you know I've got ones probably about the same age as him. And he was talking about his son, Hendrix. He said, I love what I do, but I miss my kid. He said, thanks for bringing it out. He looks at my son and says, little man, it's your first Black Label show. My kid was 12 at the time. Looks at me and goes, dude, it's my 5th. Zach took a bunch of pictures with me and my kid, and Zach got a kick out of it because I'm about the same size as Zach. And of course, his bass player JD is like a fucking lawn gnome. He's a little bitty guy. And Zach had me and JD do a bunch of like fight night looking photos. So, and for about a year after that, there was a, because they were, it was early days of social media, so there was a lot of photos getting shared like all the time, and one of the photos of Zach with my son was like on the front page of their website for like a year.
Nice.
That was super cool, dude. Oh man, yeah, and I ended up a couple years later when he started doing Zach Sabbath. He came through. I was in Cincinnati at the time. He came through and was playing at a place called wasn't the Paramount. It was Columbia Theater or something like that. It was this place in Cincinnati, and of course I was going to go, so I went, and it was just, I mean, this was just luck of the draw. It sounds crazy, but it was just pure dumb luck. Because Zach is known, he always comes off stage and goes into the crowd during a solo at some point. And there's a rider on his contracts that there is always supposed to be security guards who will be around him during that. Well, this venue fucked up and didn't have enough security to do that. And so at the last minute, his personal security guy is standing off the stage, and I see this guy looking around out in the crowd, and he points and goes, "Hey, you!" I was like, "Me?" He's like, "Come here," because I'm one of the bigger guys in the crowd. He's like, "Got any security experience?" I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah," and I said, and I was like, "I've done security." I kind of laughed. I was like, "I've done security for church mission teams, and and I've got a long background in martial arts." He's like, he's like, "I knew it. Perfect." He's like, "Come here." He's like, "I want you to do this with me." He's like, "You down to like walk with Zach when he comes off the stage?" I was like, "Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah." So it was him and me, and we spread our arms out around Zach so he could walk through the crowd while the crowd was bouncing off of us. I literally had Zach's headstock brushing my beard while he was just going off for like 15 fucking minutes.
Damn.
That was, and my payment for that was a handful of guitar picks. I was like, fair.
Take them. Yeah.
Straight up. That's cool shit, man.
Wow.
Man. I've ended up. Oh, go ahead.
Just real quick, you're talking about taking your boy to a concert. Yeah, I didn't take him to any. He's been to a lot on his own. Five Finger Death Punch, Metallica, stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Right before my strokes, we went to a concert together. Finally, and we went and seen Steel Panther.
Shit. Nice.
Yeah. So I took my kid to a Steel Panther show. He was 20 years old or 21 because he was in a bar. So yeah.
Man, the one band that I always wanted to see live and haven't gotten to yet, and don't know if I ever will, was Wasp.
Oh, Blackie Lawless.
I love Wasp.
Yeah.
Yes. So Blackie ain't looking so good these days.
No, I was I just seen Don Dokken can't play the guitar anymore. He had neck surgery. It fucked up the nerves in his right hand.
Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Don Dokken played.
So he's been doing a lot more of I love the guys that'll come back in and tell you old stories and podcasts and stuff. And I found some Don Dokken on some podcasts, and he talked about the very first time he heard Eddie Van Halen, it was at some sort of, he made the description almost like a backyard show or something like that. But either way,
you're not thinking of George Lynch?
No, Eddie.
Huh.
And
no, I mean Don Dokken telling the story. That sounds like something I've heard George talk about.
So
I thought George is still doing great. I mean, he looked. Last time I saw George Lynch, he looked fucking amazing.
Yeah. Oh, I love Lynch Mob. Oh my goodness.
Oh, dude, Lynch Mob was the shit.
Yes.
That was Heisenberg. What are you doing?
But no, it It was Don Dawkins because he says, I'm upstairs in the changing room, and the changing room has a balcony that overlooks the stage area. And I hear this young kid out there warming up. And he says, I'm like, what in the hell is that? And he says, I walk out onto the deck, and Eddie Van Halen, unsigned Van Halen, is out there as our opening act. And he says, I immediately heard that guitar and went, holy shit, I better concentrate on singing.
Yeah, man. One of my good friends was a guitar player in a band called Emperors and Elephants, who a band I had for a few years called Between the Bones. We used to play some shows with them, and he guy's name was Jeff Windich, and he died 2018, I think, 2017 or 2018. He was 55, and Emperors and Elephants were opening for George Lynch.
Nice.
And George Lynch was his favorite guitar player, so it was a big deal. Apparently, he walked out to watch Lynch play, and they had to stop George's set because mid-set, my friend had a heart attack. Like, he had just finished opening for Lynch. Then he comes out to watch him play, and then that was it. Just he was dead before he hit the ground.
Are you fucking kidding me? Like, holy shit.
And then the singer in that band was who I think just turned 35 not long ago, just died like 2 months ago. Young guy. I have no idea what took Jesse out. Jesse was an angel. I love that guy.
Right.
Yeah, it's just it's weird. It's one of those things. I think, it's like as you get older, the older you get, the higher the likelihood becomes of you seeing people drop. And
yeah,
it never gets any easier, Like, I mean, two of my best friends of the last 25 years are gone. Jeffy was, because back then I was, that was 10 years ago that I was playing out with them and stuff, and still being kind of serious about music. And Jeffy, they were just getting ready. Like, if he hadn't have died, they were slated for, I think, 6 months after that to go on tour with Judas Priest. And, well, here's the kicker. The second guitar player in the band, they had just fired him. Or he left. I don't know if he's fired or he left. And he had played for a band called Texas Hippie Coalition. And Jeffy was just doing guitars by himself for a while. But he asked me if I would come play with him. And he was looking to bring me in to pair off with him on guitar when they would tour with Judas Priest.
That would have been fucking awesome.
And I thought that was hilarious because just 10 years before that, I had actually animated a music video for Judas Priest.
Nice.
I mean, I've like literally worked with them.
Right.
So, it was like, I was like, oh, dude, how fucking sick is this going to be that I'm going to get to go out on the road with Priest, and I'll get to have them pick on me for how bad that damn video was.
Priest, Spokane being the way it is, we only got Priest once, and I missed out on my opportunity. But I had a friend. He's like, oh, fuck yeah, I went downtown. I went right up to the fucking front, made my way up there. That fucking motorcycle came on. He's just kicking me exhaust. He's like, I was just breathing that shit in, smoke going everywhere.
Jeez. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's freaking weird, dude. And that was God. It was like 5 years later I had a stroke. And I'm just like, seriously? What the actual fuck is this shit?
Don't know.
Well, on that really downer sort of note, been sitting here with this piece of artwork finished for a while. So
it fucking looks amazing, man. It does. I love black leather because you can just go in when you're inking and just be organic with it.
It's
just be
so
like,
much fun.
fucking flow, you know.
Yeah, that is always fun, and yeah, I'm really enjoying this. Like, this is, I don't know if you caught it earlier. This is this goofy ass project I'm doing with Charles, called the Big Boobed Battle Bard Babes.
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
Silly as hell, but I mean, it's like it's literally, it is intentionally like middle school level 80s metalhead stuff, you know. And I'm just like, yeah, because I've got the skills now that I didn't have then as an artist. I'm just like, what would I have loved back then, and can I make it as just sick as possible?
Yeah.
So, yeah, fun.
We work in a escapism. I'm blanking on the damn word here. We work in that area though, where we're all about escapism. We need to escape into wild and wacky things sometimes. So I love the freaking name of that, man. The Bard. Say it one more time. 3
Big Boobed Battle Bard Babes.
Oh my God, there's 5 B's in there.
We nicknamed it 5B.
5B. Okay.
5B. Yep.
Nice. 5B.
He says 5B. I say B5. Right. I like B5 better. So we got to work on getting B5 to stick. I think B5 makes a better looking logo for them. It's kind of like saying B4,
Right, B5.
Like I'm total, because I'm also co-writing it. I'm totally going to have them going as B5, and the drummer is the only dude in the band, and he's gonna say, "Well, it really should be B4 because there's only 4 sets of boobs here."
Have you come up with a visual for him yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's kind of a spoof on He-Man.
Gotcha. I was going to recommend making him. This is kind of out of place, but a chubby drummer with man boobs.
Oh right? My God, that would be hilarious. Now I may take that and say that they had one before him and the guy got killed or something, just so I can draw it in there.
Right.
And then riff on some like Spinal Tap jokes with it.
Oh, totally. Yes.
So this is the first. They've been blowing through. Their drummers keep getting killed until they got this big barbarian who could hang.
Yeah. What do you mean I'm your 6th drummer? Yeah.
Oh man, I love that crap, dude. Like this, the whole comic book culture and metal. Like when I was coming up as a kid, in my teens, comic book culture and metal culture were kind of joined at the hip.
Yes.
Yeah. And you can thank Anthrax for that.
Or the Kiss comics too.
Yeah, Kiss and Anthrax. It's like there's and then you've got Sabbath to some degree, though more like Ronnie James Dio with all this sorcery and D&D. It's like they were just always hooked in super tight. So it's this is going to be fun because it's a sci-fi fantasy book. Like there's going to be a lot of fantasy stuff in it, a lot of magic and shit like that, but it's going to be in space.
Nice.
So I'm taking some of the cues for some of the humor from. Have you seen the cartoon Korgoth of Barbaria?
It sounds familiar, but
if you haven't, you got to go watch it. There was a pilot episode of it. It's from the same guy who did Death Clock. And if you haven't watched Death Clock, you're missing it. Death Clock, the Metalocalypse. Korgoth of Barbaria was a big spoof of Conan and all things fantasy, but it's hilarious as hell. I mean, there's just I can't even get into it. It's just too damn funny. I mean, I would almost be willing to do like a watch party sometime with people. Say, okay, folks,
we can do that.
The Korgoth watch party, dude.
We can do that on Pilled. Seriously, we could do a draw stream on Pilled, and you could be sitting here drawing on one screen, and we could have that playing on the side screen.
That could be cool as hell.
Yeah, totally. Because like you're saying, the Tuesday draw stream is all about that. Now we played some. Well, for instance, we talked. One of the Brianna does the glass. I'm blanking on this. The windows that have all the different sections of glass in it, stained glass windows.
Stained glass. Yeah.
Yes. So she came on the draw stream and was doing that, which brought up the subject of like, hey, did you know that stained glass windows produce a frequency? And so there's a video that we watched on Tuesday because we couldn't watch it on YouTube on Sunday when we were talking about it, but Tuesday we're like, hey, anybody want to see that stained glass window frequency video? And shit, pull right up and watch it. So
that's cool.
Yeah. It's the whole reason for going to Pilled on Tuesday.
That sounds like something that'd be fun to do. Hopefully I can start popping in there from time to time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Well, I am gonna have to close this on out because this has been the longest stream I've done yet. This is crazy.
What do you got? 3 hours?
Yeah.
You're closing in on 4.
Yeah, but I really wanted to do this piece on here today and get that done. So
yeah,
I'm real happy with it. Real happy the way it came out.
Yeah.
I'll just one time, let's tab all the tools off screen and we'll zoom in nice and close.
Oh, just great stuff.
Pan across it here.
Oh, I love that. You even got the lines on the cords.
Oh yeah, the lines all on the strings.
Yeah,
they actually should be arched so that they feel rounded. But
right,
yeah, I'm stupidly anal if I have to draw. Oh, actually, I see something I didn't do. I'm gonna say the tuning keys are in the back instead of having them sticking off the side. I'll have to add tuning keys into that.
Oh, got you.
But yeah, still
great.
Still not. I ain't mad at it.
Looks great, man.
Thanks, dude. Well, folks, been a long one. If you've stuck around through it all, then you're braver than most. Sorry, I keep looking down. I need to move where my camera sits. But we're out of here. We'll catch you next week. Well, maybe not, because next week's Christmas. So
next week's Christmas. So
yeah, we'll catch you maybe the week after that. Week after that's New Year's. So see you back in about 3 weeks.
Yes.
Later, y'all.
Take it easy, man.
Click on the tube and feel the vibe. Every show you crave right here live. Heroes and villains clash in the night. Madness Comic Network sets it right. Scroll through the list, find what you need. Epic battles and fast-paced speed. From capes to cosmic space delight. Tune in and watch your favorites ignite. On Facebook, share the thrill so grand. On X, the buzz across the land. Madness Comic Network all around. In every episode, joy is found. Uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends. Catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join the craze. Madness Comic brightens days. Hey! New uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends. Catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button.